Whoa, my microphone disconnected. Hi. It is Thursday, my dudes. Welcome. Good morning, Becca. Good morning, Carlos. I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. Yeah, I'm sorry about the silence. It was connected to a device, called like 0.112377 point, and I'm like, what is... Who? What device? The creatures? Carlos, don't worry about being MIA. How do I even begin to describe what's been happening in this video game? A lot of people have died that we love, and then one of them came back to life. But then he didn't remember, but he kind of remembered, but he didn't, because he's not a human, he's like an AI, and then there's a lot of creatures, and we're like seeing into other realities, and the keepers of the planet have now offered us an ultimatum, which is like, tell your people we'll provide for you if you stop like leaving your little colony and like taking from the valley, but if you don't, we'll fucking eradicate you. And considering our life ends at 20, I'm assuming that eradication is like kind of the vibe. I mean, Carlos, we are colonizers. That's the thing. That's one of the like the moral kind of quandaries of the game, is that you show up on this planet and like, well, the thing is, like, the original colony was at least trying to, like, take from nature sparingly to a point. But they were still, like, logging and cutting down trees and, like, you know, hunting animals and trying to tame them and stuff. And now the new colonists that have arrived are just fascists and they're killing everything. So... you know, and there's kind of this thing where like nobody knew that there was like alien life on the planet, but then the aliens are like, what does it matter? You're still killing the plants, and plants are life. So technically you're just wrong either way. Let me close the lo-fi. Let's open the video game. It asks you a lot of questions about what the fuck the vibe is. Yeah, like, we're colonists and the game acknowledges it. We are kissing people. That's happening. It's just other things are also happening. I'm currently dating a dog boy, in a casual relationship. I kissed an alien and then he died. I'm trying to flirt with my emo best friend, but he like reciprocates but also won't. And also tried to bomb the colony. Asky, thank you for the sip. Welcome. Here we go. Here is the game. Yeah, so we're about to be like reborn. We're gonna get an ending, I'm not sure which one, and we're gonna be reborn, and then we're gonna see if we can like I don't save Tammy, save everyone, live in peace, and yeah, we got a very depressing lecture about climate doom. That was no fun in a video game. Here we go. Oh god. I was with Sim. Hey bud. Niumaruru, your game? You made the video game? It's such a good video game! Hello! Thank you for being here, even for just a moment. This is incredibly powerful. No, no, no. Not the bone machines. Anything but the bone machines. I'm leaving. No, I'm leaving. Oh, oh god. No, I don't want to be here. Governor Lum enters the colony square to his customary bombastic fanfare. Brass band, red carpet, banners with the Heliopause logo snapping in the hot dust breeze. It's a bit much. The governor gets his usual tithe of applause from diehard soldiers, but it's obvious how tired and fearful everyone has become in service to his war. You catch Mars's attention and she rolls her eyes and makes a gagging motion. Cal looks sullen and withdrawn, refusing along with the rest of Geoponics to give Lum any applause. The governor raises his hands for silence, though it's largely unnecessary. Pioneers of Vertumna, he begins. We stand here today not shivering and quaking in fear, but with our hands around the neck, he makes a ringing gesture, of the planet itself. This is gonna go so well. Before he can continue, Mars leaps from her seat and runs to the front of the stage. A ripple of fear goes through the crowd. You all remember what happened to Utopia last year. It doesn't have to be like this, she cries, speaking to the crowd. We don't have to listen to him. He's just a bully with a gun, like the ones we left behind on Earth. Fuck yeah, Mars. This is the first thing that you've said the whole game that has, like, any, like, moral standing to it. Fuck yeah. The thing is, I'm feeling horror at, like, the fear, but I'm also in delight of Mars. So these two emotions are kind of, like, coalescing together. But I'll watch in delight, because I agree with her, so... She turns to the council. Why are you just sitting there? Come on, are you gonna do anything? The council look at each other. Rhett seems unmoved, and Utopia shrinks into herself, holding her hand to her chest. Anne looks concerned, but fearful of Lum. Instance is grim, and Seek just waits to see what happens. Only her mom looks enthusiastic, but she wisely looks around at the others and doesn't voice her support. Given that Lum's already hostile towards her, she'd be risking too much. Oh my god. This is the end of my first life, which is such a horrifying sentence to say out loud. But yeah, we're almost at the end of life 1. Yesterday, I got the Transcendent ending because I was consumed by the Faceless, but then I saved and went back. Yeah. So, you know? This is our first, like, full run. Lum gestures sharply to his guards, and Mars is seized and taken out of sight. In the uncomfortable silence that follows, the governor strides to the front of the stage and looks down on the crowd. As I was saying, you can trust me to lead this colony and humanity into a new era, he says. An era of peace and prosperity where we no longer need to fear the creatures that come out in the night. You are going to die. He raises his fist to the sky. This planet is rich, he cries. It is the earth we were promised, unscarred by the mistakes of our forefathers. Here we will become what humanity has always strived to become. Caretakers of a new garden. Children of a new earth. What garden are you caretaking? Bud. What gardens are you caretaking? None. Is it you can fear the government? This is the earth unscarred by our forefathers, but don't worry, we are going to scar it with extreme violence. Like, so now we get to be the forefathers. People cheer, spurred on by Lum's display of dominance. Lum looks upon the crowd with pride. Pioneers were so close, he says. Soon this planet will be ours, and all her riches and wonders with it. But first, he continues, we need to adapt to the harsh realities of our current world. He gestures at the council. I know you all love your council, but it's time we thought about the future. We need to guard the colony leadership, he says this with some disdain, against sudden upheavals, deaths, imprisonments, and the like. I've decided to instate a second position for each seat on council, he announces. Lum explains that every council member will take an official second in command. Seconds will be trained in the running of the department and will be ready to take over the department should the worst happen during an attack. Wow, wonder why? The council looks concerned. Is this how Lum begins to cycle out the colonial government with a veneer of legitimacy? Yeah. That's not even a question. Yes. Applicants must have spent a minimum amount of time in that department and will be judged by the council based on their relevant skills, though Lum will likely argue hard for his Helio appointees. You scribble your name on the ballot for... Ooh. Oh. I don't want to. I don't want to, but I also feel like I would love a tip from the creator of the game. That sounds fantastic. Yes. The silence of just the crickets chirping. So, listen, when you scribble your name, you take engineer and win it. It gives you an advantage in later lives. I'll be a good engineer. Hell yeah. If I win. If people like me, which I don't even know if they do. Who knows? You come forward to be added to the ballot. Tangent watches you with a wary expression as she adds her own name. Engineering's been a mess since Professor Howell died. Maybe this will help. The council discusses all the nominees at length. Then, yeah, Tangent wins by a large margin. She accepts her position stoically, taking to the stage to shake Lum's hand with a barely concealed expression of distaste. Instance gives her a hug, much to Tang's surprise. Womp womp. I mean, that's, it's what I expected. It's what I knew. When the voting's concluded, Seek announces the names of those newly appointed seconds. You don't recognize the Helio appointed to second administrator. Must be one of Lum's people. Vase is appointed to second security officer under Rhett. Good. He gives a little speech essentially congratulating himself and promising to single-handedly win the war. Good. Tangent stands proudly in her rightful place at Chief Engineer Instance's side as her second. Cal's chosen to be second cultivator. He looks a little overwhelmed. Your mom must have put his name in. Hey, Mom, don't do that. He's just a little guy. The steward of the heliopause joins Aunt Anne as her much-needed second steward. There's a lot of babies in the colony now, and someone has to help take care of them. Where? To his surprise, Dis is appointed second surveyor under Utopia. Dis, you don't... Dis, you gotta go. Dis, you gotta go, bud. After the politicking is over, the crowd adjourns to the feast tables and eventually the dance floor. The sun set on the long day, the heat breaks, and the party continues well into the night. After the festivities, it's straight back to work as usual. Everyone complains. You usually get at least a few days off after Vertumnalia, but Lum reminds the colony that it's only a few short months before the next attack. Your dreams begin to increase in intensity as the wormhole draws closer to the planet, filled with terrifying and confusing visions. A feeling of urgency dogs your steps, like you're running out of time. Because we are. So keep that in mind. How do I tell Lum that the aliens told me that they'll spare him if he stops being a Nazi? You're shooting the breeze with Cal in the shadow of the geoponics dome when he leans over and waves at someone over your shoulder. Perk, hey, over here. Perk jogs over to you. He's a heavyset adult with tattoos sprawling up his arms that make him look like he's made of marble. He holds out a stack of tiffins wrapped in a sash. Hey, you two. Seth and I were testing out recipes and we ended up making too much. Figured I'd run some lunch over to you. Cal takes the tiffins and opens the first one. Lentil dal, he exclaims, inhaling deeply. No way! Perk looks proud. Rice in the second one and a little something sweet in the third. You deserve it with how hard you've been working out there. You eat up too, Sola. There's more than enough. Perk leaves you to divide the spoils, and Cal goes right to dessert. Having 4 parents is the best, he mumbles, on a mouthful of sour sweet cake. Cal's mom, Auntie Tira, is in a relationship with 3 other colonists. Perk's the newest member of his family, but even then they've all been together for a while. Cal's always been surrounded by a lot of love at home. Cal swallows his food. You know, sometimes I wonder if I want to date that many people like my mom does, he muses. Like, finding one person who wants to date you and having the courage to ask them out's already hard enough. Bruh, my palms are sweating just thinking about it. Besides, Cal continues, it works fine for my mom, but I kind of feel like if I find someone, I just want to be with them, you know? I want to put all my energy into making them happy. I mean, how many boys are we flirting with in this run? We haven't flirted with Cal yet, so this would really come as kind of out of left field, but we're all gonna die soon. So, you know, we're gonna die soon. You know? Life's literally short. Cal's eyes go wide and he rubs the back of his neck. I didn't mean that, but I didn't not mean it either. He giggles and looks away, unable to meet your eye. The dal is sweet and fragrant and tastes all the better for being made and delivered with love. You and Cal eat your fill before Cal excuses himself to go back to work. What cute boy. Where's my not boyfriend? Hi. Oh, he's getting high again. Let me hug you. I love you, puppy. Okay, yeah, no flirting with Vase. That's the thing. This is the thing I was thinking about, which made me very upset, which is that I want to understand Rex and Vase's relationship, and I was like, do I have to, like, befriend Vase in a run to do that? Because I don't want to talk to Vase. That sounds terrible. Who the fuck? Can you pass on a note to your boss? Why? Can you pass on a note to your boss that the aliens are gonna dismantle the Earth? I dis. No, we don't have any more. Just normal events. Okay, what was I doing? What does it matter? The end of the world setting in has really put things into perspective for me. You know? I could go just talk to Sim a lot and be like, hey, things are no good. Hey, hey, why not? I'm gonna die anyway. Come on, my 2 boys. The problem is that in our new lives, I need to make sure that I keep my boys. The idea of walking around these lonely planets without my boys by my side is very upsetting. How did you get there? Sam, they want to kill everybody, Sam. You're trekking through the wilderness when something catches your eye. To anyone else, it'd simply be a weird depression between 2 routes, but it pings something in your memory. Isn't this what the entrance to the Overseer's cave looked like? You decide to check it out. Your hunch is correct. The depression opens up into a passageway just big enough to wiggle your body through, then widens even more to reveal a familiar door. You quietly push it open. The room you enter is not unlike the one where you interfaced with the array. There's a vat on the corner emitting a soft organic glow, and another computer panel slowly being reclaimed by the rock wall. It's not hard to assume the planet's lousy with rooms just like this one, where Sim and the other gardeners can rest and respawn if needed. Okay, to respawn. This one, however, is not empty. You enter to find Sim, who is, aptly so, as naked as the day he was born. He's stepping out of the regeneration vat, clad only in strands of bioluminescent goo that slide down his long limbs and patter to the ground. Oh, another horny scene with Sim! This is what I wanted. Sim's back is to you, treating you to a glimpse of skin usually hidden under layers of tattered dark fabric. The knobs of his spine and shoulder blades visible under his inhuman musculature. He looks unusually delicate and vulnerable. He reaches up and gently wrings out his thick hair, humming a song you recognize from the Hollow archives. As if sensing the weight of your gaze on his body, he pauses and slowly turns his head. "Sola," he says softly, "I didn't see you come in." "I can see you really well, though." Sim tilts his head, smiling. "Oh?" he replies. He turns slightly, taking on a slightly more performative posture. "Did I design this body to your liking?" You have to say, he did. What if the Manticore shows up again? We're just like, wow, I really like you, and it's like, nah! Why? Show me. Cowardice. Now that you know the truth about the gardeners, Sim continues, we can be far more free with our words. He gestures to the regeneration vat. I have very few secrets from you now. You can take a closer look if you'd like. After a beat, he clarifies, a closer look at the vat, I mean. But what if I want to take a closer look at you? What if this is what I desire in my life? You walk over and check out the vat. The air gets noticeably warmer the closer you get, like sunlight on your face, and there's a faint organic smell that's not unpleasant. The vat itself looks like something you'd find in engineering, but seems to be constructed entirely out of natural materials. Spongy-looking fungal growths, mineral deposits, and pulsating vine-like umbilicals. You can touch it, Sim says. It's not dangerous. You sit on the lip of the vat and run your fingertips across the surface of the glowing liquid. A slight electric charge prickles up your forearms, and you feel the frisson of a link to the array. Oh my god! Oh my god! Sim sits down beside you, now fully dressed. His fingers alight on the surface of the liquid as well, and you feel a slight presence at the edge of your mind, like a thought you can't reach. I'm glad we can talk freely now, he says. Is there anything you wish to know about me or the gardeners? Pretty much everything. What's it like dying and being reborn? Reborn isn't the right word, Sim answers. It's more like reopening a program after a system crash. Everything's still there, perfectly preserved, except for whatever I added since the last time I saved my work. Functionally, it feels more like teleportation. As for dying, Sim continues, frowning a little as he considers the thought, well, I'm certain that dying can be extremely painful. Depends on the death, I assume. He touches his chest. I have no memory of the moment of death, though I have died many, many times, he says. In that we are the same. Okay, tell me more about the gardeners. Sim sighs. Compared to the gardeners, humanity is short-sighted. You're often unable to conceptualize present or future beyond your own lives or those of direct descendants. Gardeners think on a much larger scale. I once spent 400 years as a mush tree just to avoid talking to a gardener whose methods I disagreed with. God, I wish that were fucking me. God, I wish that were me. He smiles. Juvenile, I know, but when your memory spans tens of thousands of years, 400 years is trivial. It has given me a true appreciation for all life, one that goes deeper than I can describe. When I tell you that the gardeners are Vertumna, I mean it quite literally. How many are there? Sim thinks for a few seconds. It's hard to say, he answers. There are theoretically an infinite number of instances of the, software that comprises a gardener. It's not uncommon for a particular instance, such as myself, to go dormant, possibly for thousands of years. He stretches out his fingers and looks at them, then at you. And many gardeners, such as the Overseer, find they do not need to take physical form at all. There are only a handful like myself who do. How old are you? That question has many answers, Sim replies with a slight smile. This consciousness has ultimately been in existence for over 20,000 years, since the creation of the gardeners. But that means very little. I certainly don't have 20,000 years experience as a bipedal anthropomorphic organic capable of speech. And this body, he says, gesturing to himself, why, it is only minutes old. Wow, problematic, everybody. we now have a problematic age gap on our hands with when you're physically he's coded. He's child code. He's old, but then he this is the energy that I'm here for. Do you like being a gardener? Does the wind like being wind? Sim answers. Well, I don't know. I'm sorry to be cryptic after I told you I would not, but there really is no other way to answer that question. I am what I was created to be, he continues. There's a beauty in that, and a clarity of purpose that makes me feel fulfilled. I do not experience existential angst like a human does. What should humans, do? If I knew the answer, I would tell you, Sim replies, placing his hand on top of yours. Pragmatically, I do agree with the other gardeners, he continues. If our purpose is to protect the biosphere of Rotumna, and humanity poses a threat to that, then by the letter of our own design, humanity must be eradicated. However, he sighs and looks away. I love humanity. I think you are all an incredible species, and it would be a shame to destroy you. I feel like doing so would be a violation of the spirit of the Convergent Domain's last decree. And perhaps, he murmurs, redeeming you will be the greatest act of love we could perform in the name of our imperfect creators. Please know that you can come to me at any time, and I will do my best to answer. However, I must apologize for something, Sim says abruptly. I simply must. May I touch you? At your questioning look, Sim blushes and turns his head away. This body is new, he murmurs, and all of its senses are heightened. I confess I find myself unable to stop myself from wondering what it would be like to touch another while I am vulnerable to sensation like this. I mean, Manticore incoming. Oh God, why? Maruru, why are you making me read softcore porn on twitch.tv? Why did you do this? Why are you making me read softcore porn aloud to my friends in this intimate space that we've created on twitch.tv? I can't believe you would do this, and yet I want it more than anything. Please touch me anywhere. Sim looks delighted as he reaches out and pets your hair, running his fingers through the fine strands. Marvelous, he says. Truly a texture I would not have been able to replicate in my own bodies. No, this is not my audition reel. No. He runs his thumb over your eyebrows, then your cheekbone. His fingers dance down the bridge of your nose, then lightly into the dip of your philtrum, across your lips to pause on your chin. Sim's gaze drops to your mouth as his own lips part with an unspoken question. First, second kiss, baby! You lean in and kiss him, enjoying his pleased "oh" that whispers across your lips. Kissing Sim is like kissing him for the first time all over again, right down to the way he immediately and enthusiastically follows your lead. And as before, it does not take him long to begin adding his own moves to the dance. Sim reaches up and cradles your head in his hands, his long fingers digging into your hair. He moans, his eyes fluttering in the wash of sensation. Yes, please, Sola. Thank you. He's in heat! He's going into heat! I'm gonna pass out. You and Sim make out for a while, losing track of time in the womb-like warmth of the cave. Your sounds of pleasure echo off the walls, joined with the subtle slosh of the regeneration vat and the gentle hum of the nearby array. No one comes to find you. There's nothing except the stillness of each other, and all worries that have plagued you fall away in the pleasure that is discovering the ways Sim is so like yourself and so alien at the same time. I thank you for the sips, everybody. Thank you for the sips. I'm taking them now. I hate that my cheeks are... Rach, what an incredible time for you to join the stream. Welcome. Erotica. We're kissing Sim for the second time. Again. Yeah, the thing... Okay, no, when I heard the slosh, for a moment, my brain was like, the slosh of what? And then it was like the vat, and I was like, okay, it's fine. It's okay. It's fine. Everything's alright. Eventually, though, Sim pulls away. His mouth is shiny, kiss-bitten, and smiling. Would that I could keep you here forever, he murmurs, resting his forehead against yours, that I could protect you from the judgment of the Overseer, as I have protected you from the perils of Rotumna itself. He runs his thumb across your lower lip, entranced. Few people would understand our coupling if they could know about me at all. It is not fair to ask you for your discretion, as I have asked for so much of you already, but it would bring me great comfort if... He sounded frustrated by the inelegance of his thoughts. It would be a terrible secret for you to bear, but I should like to kiss you again, he says, and I would not like to stop. Oh, again, Manticore. Manticore incoming. He did it again. Something in your heart pangs with the words and the memory of kissing him before and the pain of losing him. We should date. Date, Sim echoes. It is such an unassuming word for the universes of pleasure I would find in your company, but it does sound lovely. Sim kisses you again deeply. I would like to date you, he murmurs. What a pleasant euphemism. Yay, my boyfriend! Listen, we're gonna have different types of intercourse. Maruru, you being here is bringing me the absolute greatest joy that I cannot begin to describe. Let's spend some time together again. I know that we just... Yeah. You have a traditional human date. Let's do something that humans do when they are dating, Sim says, smiling around the taste of the word in his mouth. If I were one of your colony humans, what would you suggest we do? You answer that dinner and a movie is a classic Earth courtship ritual, and Sim claps his hands excitedly. Oh yes, that sounds lovely. Oh, Rage, Sim is an alien. Sim is very much an alien. And we are kissing him. A lot. So, well, alien's a word for it. He's not a human. So... Does he have alien junk? Hey, creator of the game in chat. Hey, creator of the game in chat. What does Sim have? Does he? What? He does. Well, you know. Rach, no embarrassment. This is the vibe today. Technically, I am the alien. And he is, by definition, his junk is not human. So it can be whatever, this is true. These are very important discussions that we must have on twitch.tv. Now, is he an Omega? Okay, anyway, it's over. It's over. I'm putting an end to it. Right now, we're going on a date. We're going to watch a movie. Oh god, I just looked at the dialogue. I just looked at the dialogue and it's been sitting there on the screen the whole time, and I hadn't been looking at it because I was looking at the chat, and that's a problem. You and Sim find a relatively comfortable place to curl up together, and you pull up the holo archives to let him choose the movie while you take out all your trail rations. Since becoming an adult in the eyes of the colony, you've gained access to some rather interesting titles. Dis-Omega. Sim Omega, Omega 4 Omega. I'm taking fucking notes. I'm taking notes. Nem Omega and really mad about it. Fucking perfect. Fucking beautiful. Big Busted Babes 12 inches and counting, is what the game is saying to me. He mutters to himself, oh, I think there are some videos here that were not on the date archives you gave me. He goes silent as he scrolls further, taking it in. Is this normal? For humans? You tell him that it's not normal, exactly. Possible, yes, but not normal, and everyone's acting in these things anyway. Sim seems relieved. I mean, it is possible for me to edit this body according to your preferences, he says. Tucking you under his arm as you select a much more tame video. You need only ask. This is a video game. Tammy Alpha, that actually isn't surprising because, I mean, I only knew Tammy when she was like 7, but she likes to take care of people and she's very sweet, so that, I understand. Anyway, Sim, now that we've watched porn together, I'm gonna go home. Anybody? Hi, Dis. What's up? Are you writing fan fiction? You spot Dis about to head on an expedition. He's carrying a full backpack with a second one at his feet full of surveying equipment. As you approach, you realize he's writing in a notebook, an actual notebook with paper and everything, braced on his knee with one foot on his equipment. He looks up as you approach and closes his notebook, slipping it into the jacket pocket over his heart. Oh, hey, Sola, he says, tucking the pen behind his ear. Are you coming too? That's cool. Maybe we'll be posted near each other. What were you writing? Just stuff, Dis says dismissively. I like writing in paper. Feels more real, you know, and it's more private than having everything on your holopalm where people could find it. You beg him for more details. Dis huffs through his nose, but he looks amused. Just stuff, he repeats. How I'm feeling, what the weather's like, what people are doing around the colony. I like observing people. Sometimes I pretend I'm an alien, he continues, and I'm studying how people act so I can blend in. Do you ever write about me? Dis goes red and ducks his head. Well, sure, he says. You're part of the colony, right? And you're my friend, so of course I write about you. Dis, we have been flirting with immense speed, and the fact that you're still at this point. You're about to ask to see, but you're interrupted by Utopia, calling for all hands to board the expedition vehicles. Dis stoops to pick up the surveying equipment, then he's gone without another word. Kiss Sim with me! He must not want you to know what he's writing about you. Curious. Dis, come kiss Sim with me. He's alien, and he want kiss. He likes kissing, and I think that that would be good for you guys, to kiss. Rex, hug. Hug. Yay. He's planning out his bespoke alien junk request, okay? You can submit a ticket to Sim, and then he takes the request, and he, like, processes it. And there's, like, you know, you order that I'm making some weird shit. There's some weird... You could write some stuff. This is the worst episode of the game that we've played. Okay, so we're gonna die in 4 months. What do I want to do? Death is coming. It's an honor to have you here for the worst episode. It's the worst episode partially because you're here and you're egging me on, and that's bad. So what do I do? What if I just make out with Sim until I die? What if I just keep going? Becca, do not bring eggs into things. Please don't bring... Please don't. Please don't bring eggs into things. I would give anything for you not to do that. You know what? I'm gonna go cook a meal or something, okay? I'm gonna go cook a meal and have a nice time I'm gonna go have a nice time. The world is ending. I'm gonna cook some muffins, and I'm gonna be okay. Back in space, cooking involved programming ration machines and putting dishes in the laser-matic dishwasher because water was too precious to clean dishes with. But now, you're growing more real food and trying to figure out how to cook with it. The cafeteria kitchens are bright and full of good smells. There's always something baking or boiling or frying. You take a deep breath in and just hold all the deliciousness in your lungs. Chief Steward Anne, known to the kids as Antecedent, is in charge of everything in the living quarters, running the children's crash, coordinating the cleaning bots, and of course cooking for the whole colony. It's a lot of work, but she's good at delegating to all the kids she has raised here, including you. She's a big believer in learning by trying and doesn't mind if a few dinners are ruined in the process. Looks like you're on your own this morning, Auntie Anne says, welcoming you to the kitchen. Don't worry, though. We'll start you off with something easy. She shows you to the kitchen nanoprinters. Just press this button and the ration machine will spit out a freshly pressed cake of soy rations. It's not tasty, but it's nutritious. Then she shows you to the range, a large pot of brown stews bubbling away. Here's where the real magic happens, she says proudly. She takes a ladle and spoons up some of the stew so you can have a taste. See? For this stew, we added homegrown veggies and spices. This is what I love about cooking, she sighs proudly, turning raw ingredients into something better just by adding a little bit of work and a lot of love, just like raising children. How about you, Sola? Why do you want to work in the kitchens? I like to provide for others. It feels good to know a loved one's happy and well-fed because of you. You tell this to Aunt Anne and she smiles indulgently. That's a fantastic reason, Sola. We need a little happiness around here. Well, for now. Aunt Anne sets you up with a few basic kitchen tasks and leaves you to it. If you need help, I'll be around the corner, she says. Or you can ask Congruence for advice. She has every recipe and method you could ever need. She's an excellent teacher. You quickly have your hands full with the sheer volume of food it takes to feed 100 people. Workers from the canteen shuttle back to pick up trays of soy rations and pots of stew at regular intervals. Somehow you keep up. You poke your head into the canteen at lunchtime to see what people think about the food. Seems like they like it. Maybe you're cut out to be a chef. Maybe in the next life. You know? Maybe in the next life. Big. 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 Not big. Not big enough. Wait. Big, big. 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 It's all falling apart. Oh, this gets a bonus though. Wait. Put this here. And then put that there. And then do that. I won for a second. And then I fucked it up really bad. There we go. Yay! Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus, it's happening. It's happening soon. Anybody have anything to say to me over here? No? Bobberfruit. Hi, Dis. Do you want a device? Enjoy. I'm going out to the ravine. Goodbye. I want to go kiss my alien boyfriend. Hi, but where are you going? Oh no. I went from like fully losing my voice because of this game and waking up every morning with a sore throat to like my body has acclimated to it and it just, I don't feel anything anymore. You decided what to do about the overseer's offer yet, Sim asked. I don't mean to exert pressure on you, but your time's running short. Please, my love. Oh. How? I brought you a flower. I'm going home. That's all I wanted. I would love to. I would love to convince the colony to relax. The problem is that... Can I talk to Mars? No. Can I go in here? There it is. Alright, in command. I should have known, just go to command. This is gonna suck. Here we go! This is gonna... Here we go, everybody. Are you excited for it to really go well in the game that we're playing? That he's gonna be like, wow, I couldn't agree more, and then we're all gonna live happily. Governor Lum is staring into space, but snaps out of it as you enter the room. What is it, colonist? Okay. Lum rolls his eyes. Sola, buddy, there's no sentient life on Vertumna. We're it. Whatever you've seen out there, it's not like us. Gaslight gatekeep governor. We're the rightful rulers of this planet, he continues. I'm not gonna let some old garbage computer program stand between us and our destiny. He clenches his fist. We'll find a way to destroy them. We have to listen to them, though. See, the thing about being Governor Sola, Lum drawls, is that I don't have to do anything people tell me, especially not some Strato kid like you. He dismisses you, but he might have a point. Deposing him as governor would solve a lot of problems. You know Mars would be on board. It's months away. Wha... 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 What? Yeah, I figured that the time has passed. It's over. We have 2 months to live. That's okay. In another lifetime, we'll do it. I swear to God, everybody. That means I have no time but to give... I'm gonna spend all my time giving Sim a kiss. Back to the ridge, everybody. Here we go. Hi, Sim. I told the governor, and he told me to kill myself. And started spamming, like, clown emojis at me. And it was, like, kind of degrading, honestly. Hi. I didn't. I didn't. Tell me you convinced. I didn't. Help me calm down. Thanks. Oh, he keeps calling. He decorates your face with kisses. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's speaking alien for a moment, but he's a good boy. He's kissing us. Bud, I'll see you next time. just like looking at him, like, snaps my fingers, just like, I will see you when I am no longer a baby in the next life. Here we go. You know what, my boys? I will spend my last month with you. My favorite creatures. Come on, guys. Let's relax in the park together. Yay. We got a good relationship with our boys. Forget your dad's love. Yeah, dude. I mean, of course. Forget your dad's love. Can I sneak out again? Oh my god. Hi. Squeak, squeak. Everybody that we love will die. I saw Sim. I don't know. How do I get to him this way? Hey. Hey, bud. Hiding in the shadows. Hey. We did this again. Okay, no, you have nothing new to say to me. Bye, Sim. I did this again. Take some samples. Yeah. Go home. Alright, everybody. It's over. You're back. You spent the month exploring. Are you excited? Everybody get ready. Knowing the attack is coming, as it always comes in Glow, does nothing to calm your nerves. There's only so long you can handle sheltering in your quarters. As the month draws longer, you find yourself almost compulsively walking the walls when you're not working, scanning the tree line for the first sign of trouble. You're there when you see them, dark-on-dark shapes coming out of the forest, perfectly silent. You watch with the lookouts as more and more figures amass at the forest's edge. Minutes pass as the horde pushes into the firebreak, numbering at least, it must be in the thousands, more animals than you've ever seen in one place. The ground is choked with a teeming carpet of smaller creatures, darting in and among the legs of oh no. Yay, the big boys with their hooves! The forest bends as a faceless emerges from its depths, followed by 2 more. The mood on the walls is discouraged. 1 faceless destroyed your colony. 2 faceless required an irresponsible number of explosives to be taken down. How are you supposed to handle 3? Wait! There's even more. What is this? It has a gun. Are you kissable? You look kissable. If, like, you try hard enough. A single creature cuts through the horde and stands at the front like a general leading their army. There's something deeply unsettling about it. It's some sort of chimeric beast on its bottom half, wrapped in tattered strips of flesh, though from torso up it looks almost humanoid. Oops, oops, oops. Oh, it's Noctilucent. Okay, yeah. Most upsetting is how its collarbone seems to unzip in a chaotic, fleshy mess of teeth, revealing a neck of glistening sinew and muscle. Its insectoid face seems to truly see you, a shrewd intelligence in its milky eyes. The creature steps forward and speaks. My name is not... I don't know how the fuck to say that. Noctilucent? They call out with a voice like dry grass, so they speak your language fluently. They have an accent you can't place. You have trespassed in this garden long enough. Maruru, you did everything! You did everything! Everything is everything. I am sitting up straight. I am seated. For millennia, I have been tasked with keeping this planet safe from invasive species. Extreme weather, plague, famine, the migration of predators, all tactics I have used to ensure an invasive species cannot find a foothold where they do not belong. Controlling you by indirect means has proven ineffective, they say, glaring up at the row of horrified colonists atop the walls. I can no longer ignore the destruction you have caused and the threat you represent to the planetary ecosystem. However... No... Sim steps out of the tree line and stands beside the boy, Noctilucent. His eyes find yours unerringly across the fire break. Some gardeners argue that you have the capacity for reason, Noctilucent continues, so I have come to offer you an alternative, your unconditional surrender. Noctilucent smirks up at you. Surrender is the correct word, is it not? Something your singular, violent brains can understand? The terms are simple. Humanity will cease reproduction, cease expansion, and in return you will be allowed to live out your remaining lifespans within the bounds of your walls. Do you accept? Lim steps forward, and he's like, I accept! And then everyone... I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told your little double agent spy, his voice booms out from the wall. You and your bullshit deal can bugger off and keep buggering off until you think you've buggered off so much you just can't bugger off any further. Are you like 10? He points at Noctilucent. Then bugger off some more. This planet belongs to us humans now. Frick. They took out your swear words? Because I was like, my god. Fuck off, he says. Right? It's hard to tell, but you think Noctilucent looks amused. Maybe they were hoping this would be your answer, and of course with Lum speaking for the colony, it was inevitable. So be it, they reply, and the attack begins. Go away. The colony's defenses are mediocre. You duck your head and rush toward the safety of the quarters. As you run, you notice that the colony seems to be holding its own. Nothing has breached the walls yet, and it seems that the tide of monsters emerging from the trees has slowed. The colony looks evenly matched. The battle's not in the bag, but so long as the defenses hold, things look hopeful. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be really good. You're descending from the walls when you're thrown to the ground by a tremendous rumble. A few meters in front of you, something tunnels toward you through the mud. You have the impression of something long and dark that cuts through the ground like a shark through water. You scramble to your feet, but it cuts off your path, forcing you towards a geoponics outbuilding. Stop it! Stop it! Okay. It's a storage shed, mostly empty besides bales of hay used as float cow feed. It's dimly lit, but you think you can see another door at the far end. The creature advances, throwing up rocks and chunks of dirt as it tunnels closer. No, I don't want to fight the guys anymore. We're gonna die, but it's fine. You dive through the doorway, hoping that a tunneling creature couldn't follow. It stops on the threshold and pokes a long black snout out of the dirt, sniffing. You sniff too. Is that smoke? You both take a big sniff. You look up at the thatched roof and realize the building you're in is on fire. We're stressed now? We're injured? The dry thatch roof quickly ignites and rains flaming debris down in your head, filling the room with toxic smoke. The ashy heat's intense. You can feel it ripping the moisture from your lungs with every breath. You rush for the rear door, but the fire moves so fast. You're trapped as a roof beam collapses in front of you. You hear a cracking noise, then Just pain and noise like a bell. The world goes dark. Here it is, the beginning of the game again. You wake to chaos, a confusion of light and heat and smoke. Fire. Your head is pounding. You must have hit it and blacked out, but you aren't sure how you got here or what on Vertumna is happening. There's something important you need to remember. Your stomach lurches as the floor crumbles beneath your feet, then collapses. Your body aches and your eyes burn from the smoke. A figure appears through the flames. It's your friend. Your friend? Wait, why can't you remember her name? She's gesturing and shouting at you, but all you hear is a ringing in your ears. Climb out. You try to stand up, but one of your legs folds uselessly underneath you. It won't hold your weight. Your friend pulls you out of the rubble. She throws your arm over her shoulder and half drags you toward the door. Oh, the puppy's gonna show up! Through it, you can see a deep, eerie twilight, dark blue and cold against the heat of the fire around you. Glow season. The puppy! I love him! Glowing eyes. You shake your head to clear your vision. Is that some kind of dog, like from Earth? Wait, hold on. You remember this from another life. Not a dog. A monster. It's about to end your life, and probably Nem's too. She tightens her grip on you. Oh, your bravery needs to be 100. You prepared for this earlier. You've remembered this day for many years. The choking heat of the fire, this dog creature's dead yellow eyes haunting your dreams. You're prepared for it. I like how he just, undulates. Specifically, you've installed an armed freeze trap right where you knew the animal would be standing when it transformed into a towering horror. As it does, you trigger the detonator. The trap sucks inwards, drawing all the heat from its surroundings. The monster's feet are frozen to the floor as it instantly crystallizes, becoming an ice statue. Nem doesn't stop to wonder how this happened. She gives the statue a solid kick and it shatters into a million fragments. You emerge from the inferno of the shed, burned and concussed, but alive. Anemone smiles. It's good to be alive. You have your wounds tended in the med bay. Other soldiers there are in much worse shape, but at least the battle's over. It was long and bitter, resulting yet again in the destruction of most of the sawmills and arable land. The defenders managed to repel the Xenos before damage could be done to the inner colony, or maybe the monsters lost interest before finishing the job. It's as if the planet wants you to suffer, but doesn't actually intend to finish you off. Yet, anyway. But for now, you're just happy you've survived to live another day. And that day is your birthday! By the time you've recovered, the suns have returned. It's your 20th birthday! You're a fully fledged adult now, though in many ways you already were. You have been for a long time. You and your friends step out to greet the new day and start the rest of your life on Vertumna. The end. But it's not. But it isn't. Think about that. Oh, look it, we have a normal life. Happy birthday! I'm a little botany boy. If I could thank you for the sip. No! I can't name the things after my friends! There's no end of species to discover on Vertumna. In your lifetime, you discover over 13,000 different species of flora and fauna, and some that transcend that distinction too. Give them silly names. Snack Sniffer and Wonder Fungus, Double Scrundle, Grundmutter, Gully Waiter, and the Tasseled Lumpkin. Okay, never mind, this was perfect. You discovered them, so you get to name them. Future generations will just have to deal with it. You work under Cal, who's a better boss than he wants to admit. He doesn't mind when you disappear for a month to go tromping about in search of some new variation of fungus, but what about symbiosis, the bridge between two peoples? Undying, never-aging, ever-patient Sim becomes as much a mystery to you as the rest of the planet. The colony continues to buckle under yearly attacks and unnatural disasters, but Sim never wavers in his passion to learn everything about humanity. Though he remains as cryptic as always, his affection for your species only deepens. In your grief and demoralizing fatigue, you sometimes turn to blaming Sim. Why can't he stop these attacks? Why can't he argue with the gardeners to leave humanity alone? He never holds it against you, no matter how cruel your words. Every time you calm down, he patiently reminds you that his dissenting voice is one of the only reasons humanity hasn't been destroyed outright. You continue to meet him in secret, keeping your relationship hidden from the rest of the colony. You wish they could understand, but they won't. Not while war rages between your people. You visit Sim as your job allows it, but over time you see him less. He doesn't need to come to your rescue anymore. You're an adult now, and you know what you're doing out there in the wilds. Eventually, you stop seeing him at all. You think he might have taken another form. Maybe he's moved on from humans to study some other animal, or maybe the gardeners have given up on understanding humans. The attacks only grow stronger every year. Oh, your lover Rex grows from good boy to good man. Okay, you know what? You know what? Rex enjoys his work on the construction crew, but he's not passionate about it. Eventually, he realizes that he doesn't care about building buildings. He cares about building communities. He transfers from construction into helping out in the creche full-time. With all the new babies being born, there's no shortage of children to care for, even though he's much better with the older kids who can wrestle and chase him around. He's a puppy! It's a great fit for his energy, and the kids absolutely love him. Rex has a lot of love to spread around, and so do you. Together you embark on the adventure of dating other people, sometimes at the same time. There's jealousy and hurt feelings sometimes, but your relationship only gets better and better with every heartfelt conversation, not to mention every steamy shared affair. Rex builds you a custom house so you both have your own living quarters. It's all very salacious, and Rex enjoys being the talk of the colony. Rex is very into the idea of children, and contributes to a few on his own before you're ready to have some with him. Contributing! Between your kids and the ones that visit him from time to time, your swingin' bachelor pad becomes a family home filled with love. Rex always seems abundantly happy with his lot in life. Like crashing on Vertumna was the best thing that ever happened to him. It's remarkable that the heliopause could have made something like him, but you're glad it did. He slows down a little as time goes on, mellowing out and becoming more quiet on his self-confidence. He confides in you that his dog genes will probably mean that his life will be a little shorter than the average human's. No! But he wouldn't trade any minute of it. Your friend Dis keeps on exploring. Yeah, I hope so. Utopia keeps him on his second surveyor, recognizing that a man like Dis needs to feel useful or he's prone to wander. Over time, he straightens up his act and even learns to play nice with authority, though he and Utopia together certainly keep the council guessing. He spends more and more time in the wilderness, particularly during Glow. This earns him some distrust from the more militant factions in the colony. What's he doing out there? Who's he meeting? Utopia defends him the best she can. She trusts him, and that's enough to keep Dis from being hauled into an interrogation room. You know the truth, though. He's just meeting Sim. It's almost not a surprise when Dis comes to you one day to talk to you about Sim. Specifically that he's in love with him, too! Your baby! It's hard for him to explain the depth and intimacy of their relationship. That's when Dis is with Sim. He feels a sense of completion, of love that he's never felt among humans. Sim shows him things, teaches him things, not just about himself, but about all life, and not just in the present, but across all of time. You've never seen Dis talk about anything with such passion. Sim's alien patience and imperviousness to jealousy make the solution obvious. You'll both be in love with him, and he'll love both of you. It's awkward at first, as all new relationships are, but you make it work. Dis continues his work in expeditions for many years, finding freedom and adventure in the wide-open frontiers of Vertumna. He's chosen a dangerous life, and his immunity to fear, a natural human response to the very real dangers of a hostile world, means that he takes on even more danger than most. Eventually, it catches up with him. Though there's no body to recover, his funeral is well attended by all of Expeditions, and of course, by Tangent. What about Cal, my boy? Your friend Cal grew up and he never lost his boyish charm. Cal soon rises to the role of chief cultivator. The responsibility of feeding the colony is enormous. Cal isn't good with confrontation or pushing people as hard as your mom famously did. On years when drought or pests threaten the food supply, you often see him looking haggard. He deals with a lot of stress and it ages him quickly, but his kind nature means he never takes it out on other people or wants them to worry about him. He's a lot like your dad in that way. He has a string of intense romantic relationships and eventually settles down with one of the gardeners who grew up on heliopause before transferring to geoponics. She's as dependable and friendly as he is, though as you get to know her on your weekly family dinners, you're often reminded of Anemone by the way she teases him. Together they have a tidy little sum of children, and that's the only tidy thing about them. Their children grow up digging in the dirt, eating bugs, nearly getting mauled by farm equipment, and having a great time being kids. Cal dotes on every one of them. Cal himself never gives up on trying to convince people to live in harmony with Vertumna. Though his family is a source of strength, he struggles with the violence that's necessary for the colony to survive here. In his 50s, he's killed while defending geoponics during an attack. You grieve him deeply for many years. Your parents work hard every day to see their pioneer dreams come true. Feeding the colony is a massive job, but they tackle it together, farming, ranching, and analyzing native plants, trying to find a way for humanity to thrive on Vertumna. Every year their work is hindered by the attacks they seem to target geoponics specifically, but they never give up. The strain ages them prematurely. Your mom dies of a heart attack, too young, and your dad limps forward another decade or so before it claims him too. They'll always be with you, in the ground you walk on, in the trees that give you shade, and in the cycle of life that sustains you. Your hop-eye is a good companion, but you're no replacement for its own species. When a herd of hop-eye roam close enough to the colony, you release it back into the wild. And a few years later, you're greeted one morning by a whole litter of hop-eye kittens outside your door, and Sir Hopsalot proudly showing off their family. He's a little guy. Oh, yes. Yes. What about Fluffy? Your Vriki grows from the size of a small dog to the size of a bear, becoming more and more unwieldy and more terrifying to small children. Before the council can force you to do anything about your arachnid octopus friend, Fluffy just disappears. You look everywhere in the colony for it, but your answer comes from outside the wall, a new Vriki nursery tree. Soon the colony is host to many curious Vriki pups who call your Fluffy home. Yes. Yes, many baby creatures. The days turn to months, eventually becoming years, then decades. Before you know it, you're old. Life is tough but rewarding. Vertemna continues to challenge you and your loved ones. The attacks continue every year, getting harder and harder to withstand. And not just that, but droughts, earthquakes, diseases, storms, pestilence, and more. Some years you worry that the colony and humanity will be wiped off the map for good, but humans are good at surviving. The adversity strengthens your resolve. You mourn your dead, celebrate your births, and keep adapting to whatever the planet throws at you. This is your home, for better or worse. You do what you can to make it a good one. Eventually, death comes to you, as it does to everyone. In the moment of your death, as your brain cells fizzle out one by one and shut down forever, a vision swims in your mind's eye. Is that a person? They seem so familiar. You feel like you know them so well. Oh, it's you! Only ancient. We did this. Their arms are covered with so many data bands, so many lifetimes of knowledge. The ancient you speaks without moving their mouth, not in words, but in something like pictures. Still, you understand. They smile. We had a good life, don't you think? But there are so many possibilities, and this was only one of them. I tried. There was a girl we were younger together, Tammy, with the cotton candy hair. Such a shame to see a life snuffed out so young. They give you a look as if to say you were somehow responsible for this. Wait, were you? Could you have saved her? We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Everybody, it's time for life. 2. Life. The sequel. The sequel to Life. The sequel. You were there. You were there, and we looked at you, and you were there. You did it. You did this. You did this. I can't believe it. Oh, fuck the warning. Should we stop? Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Oh, the fire. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus Christ. The puppy. I want one of these. Is it pet? I would name it Creature. Exactly, Creature with a K. The Creature. I was a teenage exocolonist. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. I was. Yes. Do we want to be named Sola again, or do we want to be named something else? Do we want to do like New Life, New Me? Do we want to, what's the vibe, everybody? Sola 2. Now, that's something I'm considering. That adds like an interesting lore to like our parents' decision when naming us, you know? I think that adds like kind of a vibe. Everyone, Soul 2. You know? You know what? You know what? Soul 2. The sequel. We're gonna be a boy this time. We're gonna be very boy. So, Okay. Your earliest memories are from your 4th birthday. There's a big cake with a neat hollow effect that looks like fire, but when you reach out to touch it, you get a handful of icing. Yummy. What's our favorite present? Sport ball. What are we doing this time? Are we becoming an empathy boy? Are we becoming just like a creative empathy boy? Or do we want to... I mean, we were tough last time. We weren't like a murderer, though. Let's get a dolly. No, let's get the... Wait, empathy boy? Let's put a hat on. The captain runs the whole entire ship. She's very big and very, very old. She doesn't usually have time to talk with kids. Your dad says her job is serious business. Okay. From as early as you can remember, you've had vivid dreams every night. You dream about your friends, but they're more grown up. You dream about your parents, too, only they're more serious. At night, you explore a vast, unexplored wilderness under wide open skies, enjoying the feeling of rain hitting your face. Except sometimes you dream of monsters. Sometimes the bad dreams make you scared to go to sleep. So every night before lights out, your dad tells you a bedtime story. This is new! I love that! You often ask for Tales of Earth, a place you've only seen in holovids. Your dad doesn't want to talk about it. How about we save that for another time, he'll say, or maybe when you're older. He prefers made-up stories. Your favorite is... Turtle? Ooh, futurism. Dream people. Hey, that's fucking scary. Hey, I don't like them. But it's a yellow card, and it's a good yellow card. And I like that. I want it. You've always been weird that way. You beg him to tell you stories about aliens called the Gardeners and insist they're real people you've met, or will meet, or something. They're from your dreams, but it seems so real. It's more like remembering. It's hard to explain. Your family doesn't understand, but your dad's happy to play make-believe. Together you make up new adventures for the Gardeners every night. Every child in the stratosphere is given one specific enhancement. Okay, we're gonna have a calm temperament. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be like a super... Extra fingers disturbs me so deeply. What is this? Candy. Yeah. We're gonna be calm. Nothing can faze you. You're rarely frustrated and you don't get anxiety. You don't let anxiety get the best of you. You brush insults aside, always play nice, and never have to be told that sharing is caring. I feel like we're gonna be Tammy's friend now. Because now we know? You know? We know. So, look at the babies again. Look at them. Look at Anemone before everything falls apart. When you're 8, Tammy wants to bake a special cake for Auntie Seaton, who runs the creche. It has to be a real earth carrot cake with real carrots, because that's Auntie's favorite. Tammy needs help getting carrots from the gardens where your parents work. You ask your dad for the carrots. Your dad's always easy to persuade. He asks why you need the carrots and grins when you tell him it's a secret. He slips you some carrots and reminds you not to tell your mom. The cake comes out okay, but Auntie Seaton is grateful anyway. You're 10 years old when the ship finally reaches the wormhole. Professor Hal says it's like a doorway to other star systems, with the planet Vertumna on the other side. You run emergency drills for months to prepare. When the day finally comes, it starts with a rumble. Then things start to slide off the tables. You hurry to gather near the escape pods, just in case. Single file, everyone, Professor Hal instructs you to follow him. You've dreamed of this day since you were in diapers. It's one of the earliest memories, even though it hasn't happened yet. As the ship passes through the wormhole, the shields will fail. If you don't recalibrate them, your parents' hydroponic farms will be lost. Recalibrate the shields! Oh, I can't enter the root access code. I don't have it. Ooh! You give Professor Hal the slip, a move you've practiced for this day, and rush to the engineering wing, past confused adults who try to stop you. You find the nearest congruence terminal. Please help me. No. Congruence brushes you off. Almost all of her considerable processing power is going towards making sure the wormhole doesn't destroy the stratospheric, and you don't know how to make her do what you want. You yell and beg for her to help, but it's no use. The The ship enters the wormhole while you're still trying to talk to her. You black out, just like you always do. Distantly, you can feel the ship's shaking has stopped, and you hear your parents' worried voices. Feeling safe, you slip further into the warm embrace of the stars. You drift. Gradually, your consciousness reforms. You wake up in the medbay. The medbed under you plays a soft tone, and an automated voice speaks. 2 weeks have elapsed. The patient's cranial injury has completed healing. They may now be safely discharged. As the fog lifts from your head, you realize something seems different about this room. It's so bright. You try to focus on the window. Something's definitely different. Sunlight! Instead of the familiar blackness of space, bright light from twin blue and yellow suns is streaming through the windows. You peer out and see fields, glass-walled domes, and walls ringed by giant mushroom-like trees. There are construction materials everywhere, and people walking around outside on the ground. You better get out there and join them. Let's fucking go, baby! I'm so small. Hi, Tammy. Better go see your dad. Thank you, Tammy. Hi. Tammy looks concerned. You slept for so long after you bumped your head, she says. I bet your parents were worried. Your dad's working over in geoponics near those domes. They're called greenhouses. Oh. Thank you so much for stopping by, bud. Have a good day at work. Have a good rest of your weekend, too. I would go with you, but, well, this is as far as I've been from the ship since we landed. Tammy stutters, blushing. It's scary outside. Yeah, thank you so much for dropping by. It was really great. It was really cool of you. Hi, Papa. Soul 2! I forgot. I already forgot. I already forgot. He's happy we're finally awake, and we love him, so... Welcome to Vertumna, he says, gesturing around you. You've never seen the stratospheric from the outside, except in pictures. It's beautiful. Glad you agree, he says. Your mother and I have been waiting for a long time to see grass and trees again, even if they are purple. Oh, before I forget, he pulls a package out from his satchel and hands it to you. You blink and stare at it blankly. Don't you know what day it is? It's your birthday! No, don't ruin the surprise. Open the package. No, don't panic about the dreams. No, it's fine. He's gotta go. It's fine. I love you too, Dad. It's fine. I know. Did I equip my thing? I'm not gonna read every single piece of dialogue, in the game, because... if we've already done it, you know? Oh. He's watching the gate in the wall to the south. He's gonna sneak out. Oh no. You stare at the gate and then you remember the creatures. The creatures. I think there's monsters out there. I believe you. No, you don't. You're being sarcastic. Leave him alone. This is so sensitive. You won't even give me a kiss. Hiya, Soul 2. I hate that we named ourselves this. What are you making? Just spino spirals? Oh, you mean call me a big snow pal? Have you seen any monsters? Nope, just some little bugs. Bye! We have to go to school, but we don't have to go to school. Okay, we got the notice board, we got the things. This place feels so tiny compared to what it once was. Alright, let's go to school. We're going to humanities class, baby. That's all we're doing, okay? I'm getting this shit fucking 100%. Study humanities. Welcome, Soul 2, Professor Hal greets you. I hope you're all warmed up and ready to study the glorious humanities. History, literature, language, media, and philosophy. And yes, if you're lucky, we'll have a little ancient earth poetry, too. There's engineering classes. Today's assignment is an easy one, Hal says with a yawn, because I was up late repairing congruence's subterminal and I could use a nap. I'd like you to write an essay on what the Vertumna colony means to you. Well... my friends are here. Don't really feel safe, and I know it's going to become a hellscape, but my friends are here. You're worried about all your buds and the fun things you do together. When Hal wakes from his nap, he asks a few students to read their essays to the class. Mars is annoyed that you hardly mention her. Well, you aren't really friends, so... Thank you. Thank you. Can I get like a big boy score? No, it's the same if I just do this. Yay. Look at my tiny cards. Look at my tiny cards. I'm remembering discovering and crawling. And not like the creatures. You know? Thank you. Your parents have been working from first on to well after dinner every day. You know growing food's an important job and it's vital to get crops in the ground right away, but there seems to be something more than that. They're very busy and it's scary. Oh, we can like... We can really play into being like fucking insane. And people don't like that. What the fuck? How have you been holding up? I learned some stuff in school? Soldier's a sweet boy, but also he's weird. I feel like is gonna be kind of the vibe. But, like, should we be insane or not insane? Like, what? I feel like I want people to trust us, though. You know? I want people to, like, believe what we have to say, because I need to save Tammy's life. I don't want this card, though. That's really the point, the crux of it. I'm just gonna be polite. I learned some stuff in school. Stay out of trouble. Press how I give you kudos. Yay. School is one of the ways to learn, but you can also do other things. And you can start making decisions. And everyone's proud of me, and I can shovel dirt. Oh my god, we don't have Mars's card anymore, so we're not gonna just, like, lose kudos. Enemy's bumping a sports ball with her wrist, trying to keep it in the air. Heads up, she shouts and bumps the ball in your direction. Think fast. Look out! You flinch and jump out of the sports ball's way. It careens past your head. Whoa, that was close. Enemy doubles over laughing. Nice save, Soul 2. She giggles, jogging over to pick up the ball. Nah, I'm going to show you how to do it. Yes. You bounce the ball back and forth with her, trying to see how many times you can rally and keep it going. An enemy tells you about the new sports ball court. Her brother Calm is alive. Calm is alive, and he's playing the sport. Wait, can we get this up, please? Thank you. Hello, Potato. What are you up to today? Hanging out with my friends. That Cal's a good boy, he says. And have you seen an enemy? She's out by the garrison playing sports ball. I think she spent every day outside since we landed. Yeah. Like... He says guess that's what happens when you've got enough brothers to make your own sports ball team. But, like, where? Where are they? I want to see them. She's working at greenhouses, and she's like, you can dig, and Professor Hal, and I'm good. I'm studying humanities. What's up, Mars? Come here, I have a job for you. Hand me some soy sweets. Okay, yeah, no, we're gonna be like a goody two-shoes. We're gonna, like, Hey. Me Mars's soy sweets, and then they're very nice, and she's very nice, and she thinks that she's cool, and I'm gonna keep you alive. I promise. Sharing's caring. I want half. The audacity! She glares at you and you stare back defiantly. Okay, fine. She eventually relents with a small smile. You did fetch them and all. Thank you. You split the box of soy sweets with Mars and sit to eat some with her. They're great. Tammy's a good baker, Mars sighs, but I wish she wasn't so scared of everything here. Sure, the weather's gross, but it's not dangerous. Oh, right. Administrator Seek's looking for someone to do delivery jobs for the depot, she says. I don't want to do it because, like, you running around up there? No. Just go through there and tell them I referred you. No. Hi, Tammy. You see Tammy sitting quietly near the entrance of the lounge. You've known her for, well, your whole entire life. Back on the ship, you used to play with her. Tammy had the best doll collection. After her mom died, her dad used all his nanoprinter cards to print her a different doll every month for a whole year. Oh, no! Her ears perk up when she sees you. Oh, hello, Soul 2, she says. Her voice is soft and dreamy like a beam of starlight. Do you want to play dolls? I do! You don't think Tammy will ever be too old to play with dolls. If anything, she has even more of them now. She takes you to her quarters and brings out the entire Spacey Stacy doll collection, as a disturbingly realistic baby with real bowel movements and 2 super fancy posable dolls named Lily and Tilly who can be programmed to move on their own. Tammy isn't very good at the programming, so Lily and Tilly just roll around awkwardly when you turn them on. You cover quickly by saying they must be breakdancing at a club. The two of you spend the afternoon making up stories of their rise to stardom as professional dancers. Cute! Humanities class! This month, you've decided to explore pre-holographic media on Earth, which is a pretty great excuse to kick back and watch movies all day. It's hard to believe that all movies used to be 2D. Boring. Feels too much like learning to be fun. I can't believe. The people. Super goal. Yes. This week you had a few more bouts of deja vu, remembering what somebody's about to say or do just before they do it. Sometimes they actually do it, but not always. This morning you were super sure Professor Hall was going to trip on the uneven floor in the cafeteria and spill his plate of hash browns. You even told Morse to watch. He didn't, though. As Professor Hall walked away as hash browns safe for today, Morse called you a liar and a dummy. There she is! At night your dreams are all mixed up with stuff that you know can't be real. You're chased by monsters the size of buildings, only to be saved by strange people you've never met. You're holding hands with someone you love. You're crying as you help lift a shrouded body into the colony recycler. Yeah, it's... Tammy. You've lived this life before. Yeah. Anytime you try to tell someone, they think you're playing a trick, or maybe that you're sick and need to go to medbay. You eventually decide to be quiet about your strange dreams. Because you just want to be normal. You hope that if you don't think about it, it'll go away. You just want to be a regular kid like everyone else. You look at the sun medallion your dad carved for you, the one you saw in a dream before you ever saw it for real. Maybe you just got a little mixed up, or you overheard someone talking about it, and that's how you know what it looked like. There's gotta be a rational explanation. No, for sure, dude. Totally. Hi, Tangent. Professor Hall wants us to prep a list of native flora with pictures. There should be a catalog in the colony hall in it, but I can't find it anywhere. You tried... I'll help you find it. You launch your own holopalm and start searching the colony's holonet archives for a list of autumnal plants and animals. I'm so sorry. 10 minutes later, you find it buried under survey logistics. Hey, holo nerds. Well, you know what, bud? Thank you, Becca. Oh wait, Tammy's dad will be here. Hi. Hey there, kiddo. Hey, bud, you're so large. And elven. Study humanities. There's some sort of emergency in engineering that requires Hal's attention, so today's class will be taught by the ship's artificial intelligence congruence. Good morning, Congruence chirps. Today we're going to talk about the formation of the Rotumna Group and our decision to leave Earth. It's a very exciting topic, and we think you're finally ready to hear about it. Let's dig in. You know how it started. Economic and environmental instability coupled with deeply entrenched hatreds had thrown the Earth into chaos. And you know how it ended. In that chaos, your parents formed the Vertumna group with a plan to leave Earth. 20 years later, they and their starborn children, you, slid through a wormhole and ended up here on a planet you called Vertumna, but there's so much you don't know. Congruence pulls up a hollow projection of an unassuming human with a firm maternal gaze. This is Planktonic Ascendant's Wang Botha Schmidt, she says. Wow, the spiritual leader of the Vertumna movement. They were what people called a speculative fiction writer. The Vertumna Project proved that their writing, though speculative, was far from fiction. What? Wait, a sci-fi author? Yes, Congruence tells you, their best-selling novel, Life Beyond the Einstein-Rosen Bridge, told the story of a fictional utopia on the other side of the real-life anomaly at the edge of the solar system. Scientists have been investigating the wormhole for years, but it took a poet to imagine we could travel through it. Wang Botha Schmidt's writing centered around the idea of humanity building a technological utopia on another world. Translated to 100 languages, this was a compelling idea to people at the time, so fans started connecting in VertSpace. Far from just a book club, these people bonded over mutual aid amid the increasing unrest in their own countries. They were committed to Wang Botha Schmidt's idea of a future where everyone is treated equally without prejudice. But they realized it couldn't be done online, Congruence tells you. Though committed to social justice, the group saw the impossibility of forming a truly egalitarian society while also reckoning with their own implicit biases and the diverse context of their real lives. They realized that this was the work of generations, and the solution must look to the future, as Wang Botha Schmidt did. So they got together. The image of a squat concrete building with a rooftop garden replaces Wang Botha Schmidt. Around the edges of the classroom, the holoprojector gives the impression of towering walls topped with razor wire. The first Vertumna colony, Congruence tells you. 400 people volunteered to sacrifice their own cultural beliefs to walk through these doors, agreeing to come up with a new way of life that will be taught to their children. Babies were conceived from egg and sperm donors chosen by lottery, and raised communally, like you as the second generation of the Vertumna group. Those babies were your parents. This has some energy to it. Was this some kind of cult? Yes, Congruence tells you cheerily. The Vertumna group was widely considered to be a non-religious cult. Membership was outlawed in some countries. Planktonic Ascendant's Wang Botha Schmidt was later assassinated for their connection to the group, and the ensuing violence affected many lives. You think of your mother and her prosthetic leg and how she rarely talked about her life on Earth. The holoprojection now shows the compound under siege. As more colonies were founded, word got out about the Vertumna group's social experiments, Congruence continues. Assimilation was an unpopular ideology at the time because it had been used to commit terrible genocides on Earth. This, combined with panic that the Vertumna group was destroying the family unit or raising an army of gene-tech super soldiers, brought the colony under attack from all sides. But I need a second. I need to sip. Oh, to be in a space cult. Oh, to be in a space cult. So that's why we were under arrest. That's why the other guys showed up, because we're a space cult. And they were like, hey, kind of fucked up that you're a space cult. Which is fair, honestly. Should we okay. Colony bad, and we know this from another life. Cultural assimilation is horrible. In leaving behind inherited traditions, rules, and resentments, the hope is that humanity may be wiped clean of centuries of intergenerational trauma. Congruent sounds like she's reciting doctrine. Even the first generation of the Vertumna group wasn't certain it was possible. You're the beginning of the new beginning. Who knows what you'll be capable of? You get the feeling you're not supposed to get a nuanced answer from the ship's AI. The image of the burning compounds replaced with a stratospheric on a launch pad. Luckily, the next phase of the Vertumna project was ready to launch. 100 colonists were selected to leave Earth on a colony ship to seed a far-flung corner of the universe with a new human culture. She smiles. The ultimate goal of the Vertumna group was you, children, she says. A generation raised completely unburdened by troubles that plagued Earth. Isn't that lovely? So nobody on Earth was like us? The Vertumna group members have a unique culture, Congruence replies, but it's formed from a combination of many heritages from Earth. Even the language you speak, Esperanto, was invented to bring people together. And don't worry, Congruence exclaims, you brought your best heritage with you. You're humans. How did they build the ship? Orbital voyages were a hobby for the ultra-rich in an earlier century, so there were several relics to be found in museums, Congruence replies. The difficulty was not in acquiring a ship, but in making it space-worthy and in the logistics of the launch itself. The group crowdsourced enough funding to purchase and repair the ship. They started a GoFundMe. Congruence smiles. As for logistics, well, you're speaking to the solution right now. I was acquired by connected group members along with the gene tech that created you and your parents. The Stratospheric was the first manned vessel to navigate the wormhole at the edge of the solar system. Given the state Earth was in when it left, it may have been the last. Why? What? What was Earth like? Terrible! Congruence shows you some dire demographics. The institutions that had given people the illusion of safety were torn down, and wars were rampant, both resource-based and ideological. Large parts of the Earth were rendered uninhabitable by climate change, pollution, and nuclear war, especially the critical food-growing regions of the world. The Vertumna group weren't the only ones trying to escape Earth, but as far as we know, we're the only success. Your head's so stuffed with ideas it might burst. Is this a fucking, like, Disco Elysium? What is this Disco Elysium-ass fucking... Yeah. Professor Hal and your parents never mentioned this stuff before. They waited to tell you because they wanted you to grow up without feeling different based on your genetic makeup or family history. It's hard to imagine having a different culture than your neighbors. You wonder what it's like. Everyone celebrating different holidays, eating different food, speaking different languages. Are you missing out, or are you better without it, like the original colonists believed? It's hard to say, as the decision was made for you long before you were born. All you can do is be the best Soltu you can be. What a fuck... Hey, humanities class? Humanities class is fucking wild. Humanities class is fucking crazy. We were just living in a world where, like, we didn't know we were a cult, and that was just, like, a thing. Hi, Tammy. Tammy's dad's the head of expeditions, which means she's out surveying the jungle every day. This morning you see her crying in the doorway. I don't like when he goes out there. Oh, we could perform a random act of kindness. Yeah. You start simple. You give Tammy an enormous hug, sharing the love. Tammy gets a lot of hugs, but you make sure this one feels special. She hugs you back, wiggling back and forth happily. She's surprisingly strong. Thanks, Soltu, she says breathlessly as you squeeze the wind out of her a little. I really, really needed that. Oh, before you go, she adds, and produces a little box with a slice of cake in it from the folds of her skirt. Do you want this cake? There's someone to make, but I need someone to help me eat them. I'll make you another on your birthday if you like, and we can trade hugs for cakes again. You're so cute. Pal's riding around the geoponics gardens on his hoverboard. The board comes to a sudden shuddering stop on the rocky ground in front of you. Cal falls off, but catches his balance before he eats dirt. Hi, Soltu. Real ground's way harder to hover on than ship floors. There are bumps everywhere. Yeah, it sucks. Oh no, I didn't mean it like that, Cal exclaims. It's actually really cool. Hovering outside's rad. Look at this. He runs over to a small depression in a nearby hill and presents it like it's something amazing. It's a skate bowl. Can I try? Sure, but please be careful. It's fine. Okay, we have to take a little rest. Let's go. Yay! Cal has a dazed, peaceful look on his face. The air smells so good in Vertumna, and so does the dirt. You notice his clothes are filthy, but obviously Cal couldn't care less. I don't think I've ever seen Tammy's, like, full body. How tall is she? Anemone bounces in. Holy crap, there's so much space to run around in and play in. Common Chief Rhett set up an outdoor spaceball court, and it's way huger than the old one on the ship. Tangent carefully selects one cushion from the pile and perches on it. The school is expanding to some of the empty engineering base, she tells you, and we're getting a big new lab to do experiments using local resources. There's so much to learn about this planet. Anemone rolls her eyes, but Tang continues. We shouldn't forget our studies just because we've landed, she says primly. Oh god. I yearn for the jungle. Soltu's right, you hear over your shoulder, and you startle to find Dis right behind you. God, when did he get here? Did you see those huge beasts in the jungle when we were landing? Dis continues, picking at a thread in his sweater until it unravels. I wonder if there are more out there. You've had less of the deja vu dreams come to life feeling this week, and you're starting to think you'd imagined it, but suddenly you get a prickling sensation in the back of your neck, and remember that Mars is about to enter the lounge and tell everyone to go outside. You stare at the door. Mars walks through as if on cue. OMG, everybody look outside, they're hoisting a flag over command, she says, clapping her hands excitedly. You know what that means, right? She stands tall with her hands in her hips. Vertumn is officially humanity's first exocolony ever. You look out at the flag, feeling dizzy, and silently mouth the words along to what she says next. You remember this moment so well. This is history, kids, she exclaims, wrapping an enemy tangent under each arm, and we were there. Do you want to forget? Not yet. You wake from an afternoon nap. The dream you're in is one you've had many times. The air is strangely pink and fluffy, kind of sickly, kind of sticky, and you have to push your way through. It feels like every step takes an eternity. You push through the pink cloud and emerge into the children's creche, a room you know well, to see your friend Tammy standing before an enormous bear made of pure light. It lunges at her, through her, and she collapses to the ground like a fainting fairy tale princess. You wake with your heart racing. Tammy's leaning over you, where you've been sleeping in a nest of pillows. She shakes your shoulder gently. Oh, I'm sorry, Soltu, she says, as if speaking to a small child. I think you were having a nightmare? Are you okay? Are you? Nothing bad happened in the dream, but you feel sick with dread. Since you're awake, you should visit the cafeteria. Auntie Seden's making new kind of candy. She says it's made of cotton. Isn't that weird? I have to go tidy the creche first, then I'll meet you there. Save some for me, okay? Tammy skips off toward the creche, humming to herself. Go save Tammy! You sprint down to the hall to the children's creche, where the little kids play and learn during the day. It's empty. All the younger kids are probably off eating candy with Auntie Seden. You spot Tammy tidying up some drawing supplies near the craft bins. Above her, a holo projector displays an enormous floating teddy bear made of purple light. It bobs silently in the air. Mr. Bearsworth. A decade of happy memories playing with it flash through your mind in an instant. Tammy stands up on her toes and reaches for the switch to turn it off. You slam into her, knocking her off of her feet onto the ground. At the same moment, the holo projector sparks and explodes. The bear disappears. The whole room goes dark. Oh my god. In the dim emergency lighting, you see Tammy's eyes wide with surprise and fear. She sits up and rubs her elbows, staring at you. Sorry, you hurt? It's okay, she sniffles, looking like she might start crying. Why did you do that? Owie. I just saved your life. My life, she says. She peers into the dark room, looking even more frightened. How? You try to explain that the holoprojector was going to shock her, but she doesn't seem to understand. What? How, but it's Mr. Bearsworth, she says. It's just a toy. No. She doesn't believe you, but that's okay. You're just happy that you followed your dream and got here in time. You decide not to mention the dream, since she seems weirded out already. After a minute, the lights come back on. The projector's dead, a thin trickle of stinky smoke coming from the base. Don't worry, Tammy says, brightening as she gets on her feet. Professor Hal can fix it. He can fix anything. By the time you find the professor and finish cleaning up, you've forgotten all about the pink candy in the cafeteria. Okay. We did it. Tammy's alive. Everything will change now. Tammy is sitting down in the grass with a baby on her lap. They're playing nicely with some flowers or a strand of the beads in Tammy's hair or something. Tammy keeps gently removing her hair from the baby's mouth. Oh, Soltu, she giggles as you join her. Aren't babies the best? There's so many new babies in the creche. You'd think we were starting a colony or something, Tammy laughs. But the parents are too busy doing other work and somebody needs to take care of the little ones. She looks down lovingly at the baby who's now sucking on part of her skirt, getting it good and damp with baby drool. You could help too, it would be fun. How old are you? Are you also 10? And you're 11, and you're like a fucking adult. The baby chooses this moment to spit up a big puddle of pale yellow liquid onto Tammy's dress. Oopsie! Tammy coos and picks the baby up. Then she holds them out toward you. Could you take them for a minute while I find a towel, Soltu? The baby hiccups and rolls their eyes. They still look a little queasy to you. Yeah, no, empathy, 100%. You hold the baby against your shoulder and pat their back. Tammy's confidence. Oh, because she's kind of suspicious, I guess. They let out a satisfyingly loud belch, and you feel a trickle of liquid run down your back. Gross! But you don't care, because there's nothing better than the fresh baby smell. You decide you might take Tammy up on that babysitting job. Yeah, dude, the fresh baby smell that we all know about. Soul 2, Tangent says, approaching with purpose. We need to discuss my brother. Who, Dis? Yes, Dis, she says impatiently. I need you to figure out where he's been disappearing. That's his own business. No. No. Let Dis go into the pit. I cannot stress this enough. Dis needs to go in the pit. Can we... Wait, we have to go over here to do... What does babysitting get us? Empathy, creativity. And we become better friends with Tammy. I want to go all in on being friends with Tammy is the thing. Sure. Hello, Soul 2. Antecedent greets you. Oh, sweetheart, I'm so happy you've come back to help. You know this place well. The creche, part preschool, part all-day daycare. You practically grew up here, cared for communally while your parents worked their shifts. A few kids even live in the creche full-time. In a way, Antecedent, aka Anne, aka Antecedent, is every kid's mom. The smell of craft glue and clean blankets gives you a calming sense memory of all the happy time you spent here with your friends. Tammy's here too, gently rocking a drowsy baby against her chest. She looks at ease here in a way you don't usually see. You're gonna babysit too? She asks in an excited stage whisper. You'll love it. Hello? Who are you? Suddenly, a bundle of wild hair and pink overalls runs straight into you, nearly knocking you over. Almost more kitten than kid, the child grabs your leg and stares up at you with unblinking green eyes. Watch that one, Antecedent warns. You remember Nougat? Her name is Nougat? She's turning out to be quite the handful. Why don't you start off by getting her to go down for her nap? Play a game with her. Sports ball! She shouts and pulls an extra bouncy inflatable ball from a cubbyhole. You show Nougat how to balance it on her head and bounce it gently up and down. Of course, when she tries, she bops it with such force that it flies across the room. She chases after it, clapping excitedly. Whose child are you? Why are you part cat? Nougat makes a beeline for some older kids who are playing with a Create-A-Bot. She charges in to pick up the bot and hug it, causing it to flail and whirl and knock both her and itself over. By the time you get to the scene of the crime, there are tears, and the other kids are upset about their broken bot. The commotion attracts the attention of Antecedent, who swoops in with hugs and tissues. Within minutes, she has it under control. Whoops, she says, hauling Nougat up into her lap with ease. Just a little mix-up, don't worry, everyone. Soul 2 will get that bot fixed in a jiffy. She winks at you with a warm smile. Now I want to befriend this little creature. Tammy. Oh my god, she thinks the air's alive. It's a scary thought. No, don't worry, the creatures are here. Oh, Papa. Meet your dad adjusting a watering bot in your mom's flower garden. Oh, he's having a sneezing fit. Oh no. It's hay fever. It's not hay fever. Sniff the flowers. They look harmless. But then they're not. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. Babysitting. Most kids in the creche go home at the end of the workday to be with their parents, but some live there full-time. Anne's triplets, for example, as well as orphans from the wormhole crash, and children whose parents have simply opted to have them raised communally instead. You've heard that orphanages on Earth could be troubled, but here in the creche, everyone's cared for equally. They're lucky in a sense. In the creche, they have a huge family and so many siblings to play with. You and Tammy are putting 2 of these creche kids to bed. Tammy's cuddled up with one of them, reading a book out loud. Tonight's story, Tammy begins, is about a little vacuum bot named Litter. One night while Litter was charging, there was a huge power surge in her charging station. Zap! Tammy tickles the children for emphasis. And the next morning when Litter woke up, well, instead of cleaning, she decided to go on a grand adventure. Tammy makes the story up as she goes. She has the Vacubot venture all the way out of her geoponics dome to the other side of the colony to meet her cousin bots in engineering, but everything goes wrong and the little Vacubot gets lost and scared. After Captain Udicott saves her and brings her back to geoponics, the little Vacubot vows to never go exploring again and lives happily ever after. Don't step out of your comfort zone. Oh. You're so great with kids. Thanks, Soul 2, Tammy blushes. I can't wait to have kids of my own. I want at least 5. You're 11. Maybe even more. Auntie Seaton says I could have as many as I want, and she and the other creche parents will help raise them all together. I think I'd like that. Little child. Empathy, baby. Empathy. We got the spa already. We unlocked the spa, baby. I mean, again. And then, wait, you know what? No, wait. I want to go back to humanities. I want to learn more about the cult thing. We really got to switch it up sometimes. Tangent's least favorite parts of humanities are the days you study earth poetry. She just doesn't get it. If the author was trying to tell us something, why didn't they just come out and say it? Well, you know? It do be like that sometimes. It's time for Vertumnalia! Udicott and the council have called a festival to celebrate life here on the planet Vertumna. Everyone gathers in the colony square to hear Governor Udicott's speech. In Earth's history, we did the thing and we're a cult. I don't know how I want. I feel like we feel bad about this. We know about the creatures now, but also we're like a goody two-shoes. But like secretly evil. Clap, clap. Everyone cheers. All these people are in the thing. We're gonna eat the food. I want to be in the talent show. For sure. All singing, all dancing, all talent extravaganza. The entire colony gathers to watch the show after dinner. First up... This plods up to the front of the stage as a pop song starts to play. He just stands there, deadpan, staring into space with his arms at his sides while the singer belts out the first verse. Then as the chorus comes in, he suddenly springs to life, dancing and lip-syncing the lyrics frantically, waving his arms and grinning maniacally. Then collapses back to standing still once the chorus is over. It's hilarious, but you aren't sure you're supposed to be laughing. Next, Mars performs a choreographed dance routine to an old Earth song by an AI idol. Hatsune Miku? She has a light emitting balls at the end of her hair, which she swings around everywhere in the dim light while controlling a small floating ball drone who dances with her. It's total overkill, but it is impressive. Your turn, what do you do? A magic act, are you fucking kidding? We're gonna lose. 41. 41. I'm just a little guy. I cannot stress this enough. I cannot stress enough how much I'm a little guy. For each unplayed card. We do 14. I mean, this is still like... I want it to be 5. Okay, maybe 17 is possible. Maybe against all odds? Or maybe not. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. What if I push through to win? I've never pushed through before. There we go. Everyone's amazed by your magic act, especially the one where you pretend to pull scarves out of your mouth. You win, as voted by audience applause. Because I pushed through. Mars begrudgingly shakes your hand, leaning in to whisper that you better enjoy your victory now because she's going to destroy you next year. After the festivities are over, everyone takes the time off for a much-needed break. During the fierce heat of dust, a few days' rest is exactly what you need. You feel refreshed. Hell yeah, dude. I feel like I need to, like, be befriended. Where's Tammy? There you are. I didn't see you. Tammy almost doesn't notice you approach. She's bent over her hollow palm, intently taking notes until you get close enough that her ears wiggle, and she looks up surprised. Oh, hello, Soul2, she greets you cheerfully. I'm so sorry I didn't see you there. You ask her what she's studying, and she flushes pink and tugs in her ear. Well, I'm not studying, she says. I'm making a list of my friend's favorite things. She laughs a little embarrassed. Well, you're my friend Soul2, so what's your favorite color? Yellow. Tammy gasps. Yellow's my favorite too. She notes your answer, then asks what your favorite dessert is. Cake. Tammy bounces in place. Yay, space cake's my favorite too! Tammy carefully notes this as well. What's your favorite toy? Dolls and action figures. Me too, she smiles. Okay, now I know what to get you for your birthday. Ask her what her favorite things are. Yup. Everything the same. The color yellow, my dolls, and my favorite sweet is cake. I mean, she gave me this cake. Can I give you items as a gift? No. No, you're too young to accept my gifts. Let's babysit. It's too hot indoors, so you spend a lot of time outside spraying water at the kids and letting them get absolutely coated in sticky dust. They love to run around throwing buckets of water at each other, at you and at any adult who comes in within throwing distance. Kill. Win. Big cards. Big cards. Big cards. Fuck yeah, dude. Oh. Humanities class. I don't want to write about climate change. That fucking sucks. I hated that. Mars takes the creative part of creative writing, literally, describing Earth's lush forests and verdant plains and deep jewel-like oceans with reverence bordering on the obscene. She's pretty passionate about it, so you let her do most of the work. Mars insists she get to present it to the class. This, too, is a good idea. Mars is a born presenter. You aren't sure that it's totally based on facts, but it is received well by both your classmates and your teacher. You get a handful of kudos for doing well. Hell yeah, dude. Two, 2, 0. Yay. It's almost time for glow season. Oh, hey, Dis. He's skulking. Ignore him. Let Dis roam. He has to kiss the aliens, okay? I don't know what to tell you. He simply must kiss the aliens. Back on Earth, you know humans used to have babies willy-nilly with very little planning. Here, making a new human requires approval from the council, and there haven't been any new babies since you landed. The one in your arms was born shortly before you passed through the wormhole. You hold the youngest member of the colony with reverence, staring down at her sweet, chubby cheeks. She's just a bundle of blinking, mildly confused joy, gazing sleepily up at you. She wiggles like she wants to get free from her swaddle. Don't fall for her tricks. You know what's up. After a few minutes of struggling, the baby tires herself out and her eyes slip shut. Success. Nap time. I love eugenics, right? This nice colony where everything is great and you have to apply to have a child so that the council can approve. Tammy walks over to see how you're doing. "Aw," she exclaims, "looks like she likes you. Let me take her and put her down, okay?" She takes the baby and sets her down in a crib in the quiet room, then comes back and gives you a sunny smile. "Well, we'll see how long that lasts. It'll be tough when the babies grow up and no one takes naps anymore. I'm gonna miss quiet time. I'm gonna miss the babies the most, though. I love babies." They're pretty cute. Tammy tugs on her ear, which she does when she feels unsure of herself. She tugs on her ear a lot. Well, I hope that when the council allows new babies again, if I'm old enough, that I can volunteer for it, she says shyly. I mean, I don't even know how it works really, but they'll tell me, right? Hold up. Tammy doesn't know how babies are made? They taught us this in sex ed. Tammy laughs nervously. Oh, Salty, you know, I'm not really good at school, and it was so embarrassing. I haven't done that part yet. I haven't been able to open the holovids. I do know the basics, though, she says defensively. The babies start as teeny weeny specks inside the womb, then they get bigger and bigger, then they come out. I just don't know the other stuff. Tammy volunteering to just, like, I'm gonna let the council just, like, impregnate me, and it's like, Tammy? It's fucking weird, Tammy. Don't do that. You dream of the creature! There's a thunderstorm. It's still the early hours of the morning. Play in the rain. Surprisingly warm outside, and the water feels nice. Yay. Hi, Tammy. Tammy's sitting on a little stool in the sun, reading a fairy tale picture book on her hollow palm. She sighs. You okay? I'm okay, she hesitates. It's just that, look at all the pictures of these princes and princesses. The princes are always the taller ones, but I'm so big. I'm even taller than Cal. How can he be my prince if I'm bigger than him? It's true. Tammy's the tallest kid you know. Taller than the boys, even Cal, who's a year older. You know she and Cal are close friends, but you never thought of him as her prince before. Are we gonna... Why? The fact that we can flirt with Tammy at the age of 10? The game is like, you saved this girl's life? Fucking go in. He'll catch up. You tell her that Professor Hall said boys usually start puberty later than girls. Tammy's just an early bloomer. She sighs again and strokes the face of one of the princes with her finger. But I want to live happily ever after right now. Oh, Tammy. Oh, Tammy, the horrors that await you, Tammy. Tammy, you don't know about the horrors. Like, oh God. Study humanities. This month you're supposed to learn about different styles of dance. Mars takes this fairly easily, but Tang abjectly refuses to, saying she'd rather be penalized for non-cooperation than make a fool of herself. She sits the whole month out doing independent study on the philosophy of medicine. No matter how much Mars cajoles, bribes, or begs Tang to dance with her, she doesn't budge. Tang, why are you here? School, like, isn't a requirement here? So, like, why are you even here? Just, like, don't be. You know? Go to engineering or fucking something. It's almost time for the creatures. I'm doing it again. My creativity is almost high enough. Study humanities. Hal's been called away for a council meeting, so congruence is filling in. Oh, capitalism. Alright, here we go. Everything sucked. We're children now. We're learning about capitalism. This is just more weird cult stuff. The educational experience tells you that despite being regarded by many as simply an economic system, capitalism has been responsible for more violence on Earth than any act of war. Blah, blah, blah. Then it sucked. We're colonizing Vertumna. Maybe we should have stayed on Earth. Our parents would have... Tan looks up from where she's taking notes on her hollow palm. Were you even paying attention? She scolds you. Our parents might have died if they stayed there, and then we wouldn't have been born. You try to make the argument that if your parents had stayed, there's a chance they could have made Earth better again. No one's impressed. Nobody liked that. Well, get over it. Okay? The days are getting shorter, with only the yellow sun barely skimming the horizon. One morning, you wake in the darkness to have to check your holopalm to know what time it is. You see a holostream from Mars. I am staying the heck inside for the next month. No, it looks cool out there. It's spooky, the creatures. Creatures, creatures, creatures. The thing about this is, like, I want to get this up, but I also want my toughness to be enough that I could go outside, because I want to meet Sim, and I want to know what happens when you meet Sim in a second life. You know? Because, like, he'll probably remember, right? Like, that's, like, his thing? You're studying the topic of how justice has been mediated by various legal systems, culminating in a mock trial based off of a legal system of your own design. You're supposed to use your broad knowledge to design the best system, but no one in class can resist adding their own bizarre rules, like not being able to use certain words or having to beat your accuser in a foot race before you're allowed to defend yourself. It's good fun, but not exactly a shining moment in the history of justice. Like, there's so much to do in this game. Two. Creativity, fuck yeah. Oh, something is about to happen. The creatures. There were monsters, and no, the colony's under attack. Hide in the creche. You find Dis and Tammy in the creche. Tammy gestures for you to come crouch under the table next to them and takes your hand fearfully. The lights are dim. Are you scared? Tammy asks quietly, her eyes wide and tear-filled. Nod silently. You comfort Tammy, who cries softly while you wait for it to be over. She's worried about her dad, Tonin, the head surveyor, who was working at the gate when it started. You grew up here. It feels weird to be hiding here, like you're just little kids again. You hear more gunfire and yelling, but within half an hour, they play the all-clear tone. Tammy's dad, Tonin, is first through the door as the lights come back on. He gives Tammy a huge hug, and she bursts into tears again. You're relieved when your parents arrive with an ashen-faced Cal. They won't talk about what happened at Geoponics. After 2 weeks of darkness, with the sun barely skimming the horizon, it begins to move higher in the sky, and daytime returns, and I do that again. They don't know how the gates opened or how the creatures got in. Because the plant aliens. Nobody was killed this time. Childhood's fleeting. Thank you. New perk. New cards in the depot. I have to relax. Hey, Tang. Humans are so great. Maybe the animals have neat adaptations. Some animals are smart and friendly. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Timmy, welcome. I'm enjoying Tammy's friendship. She's so cute. Timmy, you missed the artist and writer of the game being in chat and talking about Sim's genitals. So enjoy that if you watch the VOD. It's very fun. Very, very fun. I need a hug. Thank you. I wasn't paying attention to their actual name because I was looking at their chat name, and I kind of blacked out a little bit, I gotta be honest. Probably Lindsay. Social media's dead? Was Lindsay the name in the credit? Okay, I was kind of going through it, like, emotionally. So much has happened the last month since the monster attack during Glow. The idea of this planet as a peaceful utopia has been shattered. The security squads are training new members and keeping close watch on the gates now. They're reinforcing the walls and even installing a few robotic turrets. No, it's your birthday! And they yell, surprise, it's your birthday, and it's a fruit, and you love the fruit, and it's so exciting, and we can't go outside, but the thing, and the... Oh. What if I'm crazy specifically to my parents? What if I just get one of these cards? Just one. I saw the glow attack coming. Your mom holds her head. Ugh, not this again, she groans. Soltu, you're too old for this. You can't live in your weird fantasy world making up stories to get attention. I don't think he's making it up, your dad says gently. Soltu's been through a lot. Dr. Instant said it's normal for people who experience trauma to come up with narratives where they've been in control. You tune them out. You've heard them have this discussion before when they think you're asleep. Your mom thinks you're being childish. Your dad thinks you're sick. No one believes you, and it only makes things worse. Even still, your mom says, it's clear that everyone should know how to defend themselves if it happens again. You know how to use a gun. Never. I'll never sneak out ever again. Timmy, there's a Discord? You know, I'm tempted. I want to be in the Discord. Tammy beams when she sees you, like there's nothing better in the world than the sight of your face. Happy birthday, Soltu, she exclaims. She comes in for a huge hug. She smells so nice, like vanilla and flowers, and she's really good at hugs. This is for you, Tammy says. She steps back and reaches into one of the many deep pockets of her dress, producing a little paper box. I made you this, she laughs, opening it to reveal a little snack-sized cake. It's only a soy cake, but it's a soy cake made just for you. You take a bite. Okay, it tastes just like regular soy cake, too. Tammy did what she could with what the colony has. Tammy watches you eat the cake with a look of delighted satisfaction. You could share it if you want, she hints, smiling sweetly, if that would make you happy. Yeah. Tammy laughs. I was just kidding. I made my own, silly Billy, she says, pulling out a second box. Let's eat them together. Tammy. You're like actually too pure for this world, and that's a threat. So, like, look out. There's merchandise. 1 second, I'm alt-tabbing. 1 second, I'm alt-tabbing immediately. Oh, there's the guy. There's the little guy. There's stickers of the little guys. What is this? Oh, I want a Vriki sticker. The creature. Oh, the creature. Oh, I'm considering it. Oh, I'm considering it. A stomach bug's going through the crush right now, and everyone's absolutely miserable. You and Tammy have both missed the worst of it, but Auntie Seed and a majority of the kids are taking it pretty rough. Tammy's cleaning up a vomit incident by the holoprojector while you strip the affected kids and get them into the bath. You come out with a bundle of soiled clothes and trade off with Tammy, who gives you the mop and bucket to take back to the laundry room while she finishes up with the kids. After so long working together, especially during this latest crisis, you're getting pretty good at working as a team. Antecedent pops her head in the creche to check on you. There are broken capillaries under her eyes, and her greasy hair is up in a bonnet, but she still gives you a tired smile. Then her nose wrinkles at the lingering smell of vomit. You're a hero, she says. Thank you so much for tackling the kids for me. You look down the mop and bucket and dirty clothes in your hand. Do you think she did it all by herself? Tammy did most of the cleaning. Antecedent laughs. You're both doing great, she says. Please tell Tammy I'm very grateful for your help. She leaves, but not before sending you both some kudos. I love this cat child. This calico fucking tortoiseshell cat child. Tammy comes out holding one of the younger kids wrapped in a towel, and the two older ones weaving tiredly behind her in robes. She's starting to look tired. I'm gonna put these little Kiki to bed, she says. I should spray it on the floor with some antiseptic, too, and then I'll sterilize the bathtub, then... Well, I guess you'll need to sterilize the bottles again, and boil and cool some water, and... Well, then the laundry will be done. You have to do everything yourself. Tammy puts on a determined smile. It's okay, she says. It's my job, right? We all need to do our best, and well, I am. This is what people need me to be right now, that's all. Make sure you take care of yourself. Tammy's nose goes pink like her hair. Oh, Soltu, she laughs. Don't worry, I do, just not when someone needs me. She takes the kids into the quiet room for their nap. Becca, this kid's name is Nougat. This is a little cat. They have cat eyes and like they're colored like a calico. Their name's Nougat. I want to understand. You know? It no good. Alright, fine. Empathy. 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 Okay, no one has anything to say to us? Going to humanities class again, baby. That's all we do. It's impossible to partner with either Tang or Mars for group work this month. Every time you try to get one of them to be your partner, they've already stuck to each other like glue. You can't imagine they'd be friends, but the evidence is right before your eyes. Interesting. 5. Wait. Big. Big. Tang and Mars. Kiss? Question mark? Oh my god, Nougat's in my thing. Am I gonna watch Nougat grow up? I love Nougat! I love Nougat. I didn't know that I could see full bodies of people if I, like, clicked on them. Yep. That's her. Look at this man. I love this. Big boy. Okay. We're going to humanities again. You're bringing supplies to medbay when you see something unusual. Tangent sleeping. Let her sleep. Power nap. Who needs to sleep? Wait. Win. Speed run. Speed run. Oh, hi, Tammy. Tammy's crying and trying to hide it, wiping her eyes and blowing snot into her sleeve. What's the matter? She hiccups. I watched that scary movie last night in the lounge. You remember it. Mothra vs. Godzilla, the 2085 remake version. Well, sniffling, I had a bad dream where the monsters were knocking at my bedroom window. They were trying to get in. Now I can't stop thinking about it. I miss being in space. It was so much safer there. The soldiers will keep us safe, like your dad. I hope so, she sniffs. But I can hear the monsters at night sometimes. Real ones out in the jungle. I can hear them trying to get in. They're scary. You both look toward the wall. She does have those big ears. Maybe she really can hear creatures gathering in the jungle, scratching at the walls, looking for weak points. The thought gives you shivers. The creatures! You wage an endless war against certain aromas in the crash. No matter how much you clean and disinfect, there's always the faint smell of glue, dirty diapers, and grungy kid bodies. You're so used to it that the days when you make popcorn or fold a fresh pile of clean laundry are like a tiny vacation. Well, beep, 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 beep. Beep. You're finishing breakfast in the common area when Marzipan struts in. Look at you eating cereal. Oh, it's Valentine's Day. No, you dummy, Mars starts, then pauses and gives you a suspicious look. Wait. What did you say? Well, anyway, today is Valentine's Day. Oh, Tammy wants to hear more. With the pigs and the you put the pigs, they come. Tammy cocks her head. Why pigs? Before Mars can answer, Dis snorts. This is dumb. Marzipan just made it up to get free candy. As he leaves, Marge shouts at his back. Well, nobody's gonna pick you anyway. You stink. I know who my best friend will be. Who could it be? Well, I feel like I should pick Mars because it's nice, but but Tammy's our best friend this run, so wanna be best friends? Cal already asked me, she says, poking her 2 index fingers together, but I don't see why I can't have 2 best friends. She laughs nervously. I don't really understand the rules. Here, I'm already making a friendship bracelet for Cal, she says, showing off her braided grass. I'll make one for you too, best friend. They're so cute. I really hope that they, like, remain friends. And that nothing terrible happens in the game. Yeah, nobody picked you. Sorry. You, Cal, and Tammy broke the system. You're only supposed to have one BFF. Don't you know that? Whatever. I'm too mature for kids my age. Well? I'm going to humanities class, so... You learn that the language you speak, Esperanto, is a conlang, or a constructed language. It was designed to be easy for foreign speakers, at least European ones, to learn, in the hope that it would bring people together. The word Esperanto means one who hopes. Oh, Jesus, the crazy guys here. Wait. 0, 0, 1, -1, 3, 7. This really fucked me over. What happened? Oh, because I didn't play a card, which means... Wait, if I don't play this... Why? Oh, because this counts as red. Okay. Yeah, Tammy, we learned about the cult thing today, and now we're just kind of like, you know? Dust is dry. You come to see the harvest. So that sounds neat. Everything's kind of scraggly. With the festival's coming up, it's okay. It's okay for now. It's not going to be okay forever. Oh, more dancing. Alright, we should go back to babysitting in a minute. Card becomes 2. How could you? How could you do this to me? My creatures! Time once more for Vertumnalia. Ever since the attack, everyone's kind of depressed. Udicot's like, wow, the creatures were unexpected. Creatures. Depot's gonna open. You get an allowance. The council's unchanged. What did the talent show give me? It's a good card, unfortunately. Dis and Mars are your competitors for the talent show. Mars is a shoo-in for winning with her jazzy, high-energy dance routine, so all eyes are on Dis for daring to compete against her. Dis stands on stage and clears his throat, then gestures with his arm. From his hollow palm emerges a projection of a ventriloquist dummy. He sits it on his lap and launches into a comedy routine, speaking through the doll with zero filter. The judges all howl at his impression of Chief Engineer Instance, but the crowd favorite by far is Administrator Seek's thin, self-important voice coming out of the doll, imperiously demanding that not everyone can have perfect scores, they have to be rationed appropriately. This looks flustered by all the attention, but proud as well. He bobs in a little bow before leaving the stage to raucous applause. I don't want to win, though, now. I want him to win. No. 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 No, he has to win. I'm sorry. He has to, let me give up. Let me give up. Yup, no. He has to win. Dis wins by overwhelming applause. Dis just shrugs and smiles awkwardly. He didn't mean to win, so he's uncomfortable with the attention. Mars, on the other hand, is livid. I worked on my routine for months, she cries and refuses to shake his hand. Don't even mention yours. It was so embarrassing you immediately want to forget it ever happened. But he's good. Everyone has a little water fight. We can relax on the walls. They don't know I'm in the walls. New perk? Oh, persuasion. Yellow cards are good. What am I going to do about Uncle Tonin getting killed by a manticore? Can I prevent that? This is sitting in the grass near the big gates that lead to the jungle. He's just staring into nothingness. Sit down with him. Yeah. I gotta go. Okay, bye. Timmy. No, don't spoil me. I'll find out for myself, I guess. Ugh. Little Nougat is absolutely fearless for a 4-year-old. She speaks bravely to adults and hates being patronized by anyone. It's usually endearing, but Tammy's been trying to get her to put her toys away for afternoon quiet time, and Nougat is not having it. You can't make me! Nougat shouts for the 3rd time. First I can't play in 0G, then I can't play with the nano printer. No, 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 I'm gonna run away and live in the jungle and play all day and nobody tells me what to do. Tammy looks to you for help. Want to give this a try? You explain to Nougat that she can't play in 0G because we aren't in space anymore, and she's too young to use the nano printer, especially after she filled the entire room with rubber ducks that time. Nougat is, as usual, not having it. No, no, no! Nougat shoves you out of the way and begins running around like a tornado, knocking things off tables. Ooh, scary. Negotiate. You corner Nougat and crouch down to her level to negotiate. You make a deal. She'll put away all her toys except one and play quietly instead of napping. Then nobody has to live in the jungle. 3 toys, she counters. You tell her 2 is your final offer and shake hands. Ah, Tammy breathes. She's been watching the whole time and she's impressed that you managed it in such a gentle way. Nougat. The creature. The creature! Empathy. Empathy. Anybody have anything to say to me? Anybody feel like speaking to me right now? No. Humanities. This month, you're supposed to pick a play from a famous playwright and do a dramatic reading for the class. You pick I don't know what that is. An existential play about a writer who struggles due to not having a clear sense of self and being unable to find meaning in his life. He's unhappy with the restrictive roles placed on him by society, but also paralyzed by the pointlessness and absurdity of the cycle of life and death. You're not sure why, but something in it speaks to you. Oh, bud. Oh, Soul 2. Oh, Soul 2. We're really in it now. Nope. Hi, Tammy. Oh, I can give her a present now. I got you cake that you got me. Tammy claps excitedly. Yummy! I'll have saved some for Cal too, she says. He really, really likes cake. And well, anything you can eat, really. Hello, Soul 2. Tammy bounds over to you. I have a present for you. She presents you with a gift. It's wrapped in homemade wrapping paper, scribbled with hearts and flowers. Open it, she says, bouncing on her toes. You open the gift and pull out a handmade doll. Its lumpy, misshapen face gazes up at you from a patchy nest of yarn hair. It's a doll. Her name is Dolly, Tammy says proudly. I'm making them for all the kids I babysit. You told me once that your favorite toys are dolls, so I thought you might like one. Give it a hug when you're feeling scared. Yeah. You thank Tammy for her gift, and she claps her hands in front of her heart. I'm glad you like it, Soul 2. I worked really hard on it. Is that a doll? I want Tammy and Cal to date. They're so cute. They're in love. You spend a few weeks reading old classic novels from Earth, and you learn a lot of words that you soon discover the adults do not want you saying in casual conversation. Professor House said you should take the novels in context of the time they were written, but it's hard to overlook some of the stereotypes people used to believe. Stereotypes about the creatures. I wonder how you get the, I guess if you study, like, engineering really early or something, you would have the code for the shields. And then, oh, if you're chosen, that's what they meant. When they said if you're chosen as, like, chief engineer, you probably get the codes for the shields. And then, okay. Yeah, I'm assuming they mean racial stereotypes, but you know. Once again, we're just studying the same racist novels over and over again forever. I'm almost tier 2 creativity, baby. You have a strong feeling that Chief Explorer Tonin, Uncle Tonin as the kids call him, needs to not go out today. Some sense of unfocused urgency, last night's terrible dream, insists you should try to stop him. Just like his daughter, Tammy, he's gentle and soft-spoken with a huge heart. On the Strato, he was the ship's navigator and helped take care of the kids in the creche, including you. That's why you call him Uncle Tonin. Here in Vertumna, he's the chief explorer, but it seems to make him unhappy. In the years since you landed, he seems distracted all the time and distant, but he still smiles when he sees you. Unsettled by your dream, this will make me crazy, yeah, you visit Tammy and Uncle Tonin in their quarters early the next morning. Tammy's in their kitchenette making blep tea for her dad like she does every day while he gets ready for work. Hide sleeping medicine in his tea? That's terrifying conceptually, but thank you. I can get 8 if I do that, or 9 if I do that. Let's do that. Okay. 7, 5. Oh. Oh, God. Okay. Abso-fucking-lutely not. You use adult logic. It's raining hard, the roads will be slippery, and they could still use him in the creche. You know children are our future. Why doesn't he take a day off and spend it with his little nieces and nephews in the colony? Uncle Tonin agrees to stay home today. The feeling that something terrible was going to happen has gone away. You feel so relieved. Yay! We're saving everybody. Okay, my creativity is almost at the second bump. I want it. Watching movies. Okay, 3, 2. Oh. 4, 4. 1, 2. Who's to say? Yes. Yes, the creativity is flowing through me. 5% chance to gain 1 extra skill. Yes. Now, the creatures are definitely going to be out. Babysitting. You just can't seem to make Nougat keep her pants on. At least she's potty trained, but it's still a bit of a health hazard. You manage to come to a compromise where she agrees to at least wear a dress or skirt. She does this for a little while before realizing that it's much harder to climb and crawl around in a dress, and begrudgingly agrees to wear pants again. Wait. Big card. Yeah, that's the thing. Saving people in the second one's actually, like, extremely rewarding, and I'm a huge fan. Hal dies this time, right? Yeah. They're staying in there. Go to engineering. You don't know what compels you to go to engineering. It's nowhere near the walls, and the corridors are quiet as you approach. You burst into the classroom to find Professor Hal cornered by a small, chittering thing. It's moving too fast to tell what it is. Every time Hal tries to get around it to flee, it climbs up the walls and keeps jumping at him. He's fending it off with a tablet, but he's getting tired. As you watch, the thing leaps at his throat and tears a chunk out of him. He just dies no matter what. Hal screams in pain and crumples to the ground. You must gasp because the thing turns to you and lunges. Okay. Sorry, I guess. My fucking bad, I guess. Wait, no, I want that there and that there and that here. Stop. Oh, it's no good. Oh, it just, like, couldn't be less good? It just could not be less good. We are not a fighty boy. It's impossible to hit the thing. It's so fast, it's like a smear at the edge of your vision. It quickly overtakes you and you scream as you feel it tear into your flesh. The pain's unimaginable. Passing out's a blessing. Yay! Oh, Timmy, it's fine. We can't die. What does it matter? And we can't die now. When you come to, you're in medbay. Your dad startles when you groan in pain. Soltu, you're awake, he says, grabbing your hand. You smile weakly at him and give him a thumbs up. Your dad shares the grim news. The security team answered Congruence's call for help, but they didn't arrive in time to save Professor Hal. They were barely able to get you to the medbay in time. You're lucky to be alive. Okay, so if you do... It ripped his throat out. I thought he was dead. Okay, well, wait. That was my bad. I thought he died. I forgot that we have magical beds that you just lay in them and then you're okay. Even if something rips your throat out, you know? It only ripped out like a part of his throat. Yeah, of course, right? I do this. Oh, that becomes 0 then, which is not good. 13. 14. Okay, now I'm gonna add a +2. Time sensitive, but not immediately fatal chunk. That's important to me. I could push through if I wanted to. Change the suit to strong. Redraw your hand. Switch the blues. Huh. My life is a nightmare. Okay, I'm just gonna push through. I have to save Professor Hal. It's impossible to hit the thing. It's so fast, it's like a smear at the edge of your vision. What you do manage to do, though, is lure it outside the classroom and get Congruence to slam the doors shut. You hear it beating against the doors as you run to Hal's side. Congruence guides you through how to hold pressure to Hal's throat to stop the bleeding, but stars, there's blood everywhere. Okay, it does save him, thank God. Eventually the doors open and Chief Engineer Instance runs in, directing some of the security team to load Hal into a stretcher and take him to medbay. There's no sign of the creature. She surveys the carnage. Good work, Soul 2, she says grimly. You might have just saved Hal's life. Her shoulders droop. They must have crawled over the walls. Buggers. You return to your quarters. Your parents are horrified to see you covered in blood, relieved when you say it's not yours, then horrified all over again when you tell them about Professor Hal. Your dad checks his holopalm and tells you that they got him to a medbed quickly enough that his injuries should heal in a few weeks. You saved Professor Hal's life! Holy fuck! And you're 12. And the most stressed out anyone's ever been. Join Cal and Tammy. Cal is braiding Tammy's long hair and weaving in strands of little colored baubles. This one's called a waterfall braid, I think, he says. I saw it in an archive vid, but it's really tricky. He's doing a terrible job of it, his short, clumsy fingers getting all tangled in the strands. Nothing will compare to the Save Scum dance-off of Disco Elysium, where I hit the reload save file like 18 times, like not more, like literally we were there for like 30 minutes. I don't want to do better. They're so cute. But this is also cute. Let me try. Okay. Oh, her confidence went down. Because I braided her hair well? Sure, says Cal, completely unbothered by your boast. It would help if I could watch someone else to do it. You deftly weave Tammy's pink cotton candy hair into a cascade of waves around the crown of her head. Cal passes you strands of baubles to add in. So pretty, Tammy says, would you take a photo to show her? I only know how to do one style. You're so good at braiding, Soul 2. So she hated that we took over from Cal. She didn't trust us, but she became our friend more. Okay. God, the zeros and ones. I'm having an anxiety attack. Oh, the creature. It's your birthday. What's my favorite toy? A bouquet of flowers. They're exotic because they came from Earth. I saved these seeds in cold storage for over 20 years just for this day, your mom says proudly. These are the first Earth flowers to bloom on Vertumna. White astrantia. She pinches your cheek. They're special, just like you. As your dad clears away the wrapping paper and the dishes from breakfast, your mom... Oh, we've been here 2 years now. What do you want to be when you grow up? I mean, my goal this run is to... like... get Lum to not be the governor? We might have to do combat training and toughness so I can go outside. I don't know what I need exactly, because, like, I'm imagining that Sim and the other guy is going to be like, hey again. But I'm unclear. I should befriend Mars, shouldn't I? I don't know. It's okay to change your mind. You don't know what you want to be. Depot clerk. I guess if I do stuff in the depot, I can be friends with Mars. Tammy beams when she sees you like there's nothing better. Oh, she got me another cake! Share it with Tammy. Yay! Okay, where's... You're gonna work in Command, the supply depot. That's amazing. We're not friends enough. I need to take a photo with someone every day or I lose my streak. Do you want cake? No. But it did something, you know? Okay, tell me working at the depot. 10 or rebellion? She's mad now, bitch! Okay. Our friendship is 7. She likes crystal clusters. Okay. We'll work on that. I'll give her a crystal cluster when it's like her birthday, and we'll get like a big boost. Let's go babysit. You almost lose one of the kids this month. After mobilizing the whole colony to look for them, you eventually find them playing in the drainage ditches that eventually lead outside the colony walls. You shudder to think of what would have happened if they'd gotten outside. What is it with kids and storm drains? When they said you almost lost a kid, I thought they meant to disease or something. And I didn't like it. Empathy. Empathy. Crystal cluster. Babysitting. You and Tammy are taking the kids out for a field trip to the garden so they can see where their food comes from. Cal meets you there to act as a tour guide. Everything's going fine until a fight breaks out between 2 of the children. Someone took something from someone else, or perhaps they just wanted it, and there was maybe a push that was actually an accidental bump that could have been a punch, and the whole group splits into incomprehensible warring factions. You're not sure. It's a bit chaotic. There's a lot of yelling. Kids, no, Tammy exclaims, looking overwhelmed. Stop fighting. Oh no, please don't hit each other. Don't worry, I have a first aid kit. Does anyone need first aid? In the confusion, a rogue group of kids breaks away and disappears into the corn. Another group is throwing rocks. Tammy looks like she's about to cry. Cal waves his hands with an easy smile. Don't worry about it, he says. It's just some dirt and rocks. And don't worry about the runaways. They aren't going anywhere. There's fences around this whole place. He picks up the 2 fighters around the stomach and holds one under each arm while they flail and kick. Hey, you 2, we use our words in this colony. You gotta talk it out before you start hitting each other. Tammy wrings her hands. But Cal, she wails, it's dangerous. They could get through the gate, or they could get lost and scared. They could fall down hurt themselves on farm equipment. She wrestles away a handful of rocks just before they go into someone's mouth. No, we don't eat dirt. Yucky, dirty, it'll make you sick. Nothing's in that dirt I haven't eaten myself, Cal laughs, swinging the kids under his arm so they scream in delight instead of anger. It's okay, Tammy. You'll tear yourself into itty-bitty pieces if you keep worrying. He sets the children down. They wander off in different directions. You gotta let kids make some mistakes, I think, he says. You learn more from your mistakes than you do your successes, right? And if you're already fixing their mistakes, they're gonna grow up all anxious if they're not perfect all the time. Yeah. Cammy hates me. See? Cal says, pointing at you. Soltu agrees with me. That's 2 against 1. A howl of pain erupts from the rows of corn, and Tammy scrubs away her frustrated tears before dashing into the field after the sound. They're cute, and it's a problem for me. Pollen. Pollen. Instance? Or Utopia? Sorry. Did Tonin just, like, quit his job? Good for him. Good for him, actually. Babysitting. Nougat demands your attention as soon as you show up for your shift in the creche. Hide and seek, she commands you. You look to Tammy for guidance, but she just shrugs helplessly. You cover your eyes and hear Nougat scamper off through the creche to find the perfect hiding place. Where do you look for her? Can I look at Utopia's full-body portrait? I think so. Oh! The creature! What the fuck? The creature! I want cat feet! Does that do? The creature! Creature. Creature. Gah. 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 Duh. 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 No. Push through. Find the child. To find the kid, you gotta think like the kid. You make a big show about searching anywhere except where Nougat's hiding. If you didn't already know, you for sure figure it out from the amount of giggling you hear when you comedically search the nanoprinter output tray or the ceiling lights, or inside the giant holographic bear. Wow. Eventually, you find Nougat exactly where you thought you would. You pretend to be a giant monster coming to drag her out of her hiding place and eat her. She shrieks and kicks in delight, but you're used to her by now, so you just scoop her up and blow a big raspberry on her stomach as she flails. Saltu again! You spend almost your entire shift playing hide and seek. Eventually, it's not just Nougat, but a handful of other kids. Someone introduces a variant where you all have to squeeze into the same hiding place if you're found, which makes for a few disputes about whose elbow went where, but you and Tammy manage to sort it out. By the time the kids are done with hide and seek, it's nap time. Even the older kids go down without complaint, and for once, it's completely silent in the creche. You and Tammy stand at the door to the quiet room for a long time, just watching all the children sleeping peacefully on their mats. They're so good, Tammy whispers. You did really good today, Soul2. There's no happier place than this, you'd think. You never want to leave. But I have to go find Sim. So we're gonna leave. Oh, the pollen. Oh, the pollen. Oh, the pollen. Oh, he wants to go outside the gates. He wants to go in the pit. He passes out from the pit. It's way more this is way more dangerous than you think. You've dreamed about this. It's super duper dangerous. Your dad just gets more and more sick every year. He could die if he's not careful. There's no need to panic, Instant says dismissively. Your dad's in excellent health otherwise. Ah, right, you're only 12. You remember being older when he... The adults are so stubborn. They're not going to listen to you. Even if they did, the shimmer's still out there. You can't keep your dad inside forever. You're going to have to find the cure. You've done it before, you can do it again. Time to go see Tang and Instance in engineering. Even after one day of bed rest, your dad's looking a lot better. Dad, pixie beans are dangerous. You dreamed about these beans. They make people act all funny when they get sick. Your dad laughs. Someone's been reading too many weird hollow novels before bed, Soul2, he says, ruffling your hair. Don't worry about him, my little tomato. I've been studying them since we landed, including eating them. He gestures broadly to himself. Look at me, I'm in great health. Ugh, what is it with no one believing you? Just because they're dreams doesn't mean they're not real. Your dad is acting pretty strange, but maybe it's just the shimmer brain? Remember the pixie beans mostly affected teenagers. Oh, you know I wouldn't lie. I don't like them either, your mom cuts in. I agree we should be trying to cultivate native crops, but something just feels off about these ones. She shudders. I can't stomach the idea of eating something that glows in the dark. Who knows what that's doing to our bodies? Your dad sighs. Outvoted, huh, he says, even though your mom's vote's the only one that counts. Your mom takes your father's hands and looks him in the eyes. Thank you for not forcing me to pull rank, she says quietly. We should still grow them, but I'm not ready to pull all our resources behind them just yet. Your dad agrees. The fields will be sowed with earth crops this year. You can't exactly remember the details, but you think it's gonna help. Alright. I do have to end the stream. Everybody. I do have to end the stream. Is the problem. Can we do this? You want my assistance in the lab? I came as soon as I could. She needs saliva samples from me and my dad. Okay, no problem. Shimmer cure. Okay. I do have to end the stream. New life, new me. Sam? Okay. That was scary. Don't do that, bud. God. Alright, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to the stream. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Next week, we continue, and then we perish. So, thank you all for this incredible stream. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Goodbye.